Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Of course, the Gregor Show is always presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, and you can get in the game. Tonight, use the promo code Gregor100. That's a Gregor100, and you get a free $100 play at PlayAlberta.ca on your next deposit. Also tonight, hey, we are back where we were on Monday, live at OTR on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. Stop in, get set for the game tonight, because, of course, you can get 525 highballs, beers, all during the game. Of course, you got 60-cent wings all night long, starting at 5 if you want to get here and watch some of the earlier action. So check it out, OTR, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. There is lots and lots to discuss today. The Edmonton Oilers are going to have some lineup changes as Evander Kane will make his season debut. He hasn't played a game since Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final on June 10th last year. But he's in, and he'll play on a line to start with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Now, how long the lines stay together, that's anybody's guess. Draisaitl's going to start with Perry and McDavid. Now, is Corey Perry going to play the minutes that McDavid and Draisaitl play 5-on-5? I don't think so. So, I think you're going to see some movement around, but and we can get into discussion. Is it smart? You like it? You're concerned about loading up Draisaitl and McDavid to start the series. Now, remember that last year, Draisaitl and McDavid played a total of 8 minutes and 54 seconds together in the LA series. The Oilers won in 5 games. No, those guys basically ran their own lines. McDavid played 72 minutes without Draisaitl. Draisaitl played 67 without McDavid. And they played just under 9 minutes together. And you know what? The team had success. They won. It was no problem. So we'll see what it's going to be tonight. Jeff Skinner comes out of the lineup for Kane. Podkolzin, Arvidsson will have Matthias Janmark as their center iceman. Henrique will center Frederick and Brown. So I'll say this, the Oilers left wing, Kane, Frederick, Podkolzin is definitely the most physical left side they've had all season long. And I'm curious to see, what does Evander Kane have? Yeah, now he's healthy. He says he's feeling great. Trent Frederick looked a little hesitant.
I wonder if that's more of
a mental hurdle. And now that he's over it, is it better? We'll find out. I think with every game that Frederick plays and he doesn't feel pain or anything, because I can tell you, talking to guys who've had ankle sprains, there's sometimes, you push off and you just still feel it. And you kind of got to block it out. It's not debilitating by any stretch, but it's just one where you feel it every now and then. So we'll discuss that today on the show. The LA Kings, no lineup changes. They will go with the exact same lineup. On the back end, the Oilers are going to switch things up a bit. John Klingberg is in. Josh Brown comes out. That's not a huge surprise, I don't think, to anyone. Brown played less than 5 minutes in game 1. Now, the pairs to start will be Nurse, Bouchard, Kulak, Emberson, Wallman, Klingberg. Now, do I think Klingberg is going to play that much? It's all going to depend on how he does early in the first period. Because in the regular season, Klingberg was okay, I guess, to put it, in a positive light. He was probably okay. I'm not sure we could do much more. So we'll see how he feels. You know what? He's cleared. Kane is cleared. So, the Oilers are getting healthier, right? Troy Stetcher, he might be available later on in the series. We know that Matthias Ekholm not available this series. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 in our email inbox. Let us know. What do you think? Do you like the coach loading up McDavid and Draisaitl? So I see it, the theory that you put McDavid and Draisaitl together and you have a chance to get a lead on LA. They give you the best chance, right? They combined for 2 goals, 5-on-5 last game. They had 2 other goals. He had an empty netter, a guy on the ice. So because you look at the Janmark goal was 5-on-5. The McDavid and Draisaitl, of course. Then you had the Hyman goal, extra attacker. The Perry goal was 5-on-5. So the last two were with the extra attacker, and so I can't really count that as the same. Now, Phil Deneau's line did have success against McDavid's line. They played almost 8 minutes head-to-head, and they actually outscored him 2-0, including the game-winning goal with 42 seconds remaining. And so that LA is going to put the Deneau line out against McDavid and Draisaitl. So that means Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Kane, Henrique, Brown, Frederick, they're likely going to face Kopitar and Byfield, because the Kings' fourth line played basically 4 minutes last game. They barely played them, and they were leading for much of the game. So what happens in a tight game? Are they just going to run three lines? They might. Maybe that benefits Edmonton. We'll see. Also, I know there was lots of talk about the defense of Edmonton, and they play their guys. Well, LA basically, Edmonton's number 5 and number 6 defensemen, Emberson and Brown, combined to play just over 18 minutes. LA's 5th and 6th defensemen combined to play just over 18 of total ice time together. Obviously, they weren't both on the ice for 18 minutes, but you know what I mean? Like it was 5 minutes for Brown and just 13 and change for Emberson, whereas Brandt played just under 12 minutes and Spence played just over 6. So it was pretty even as far as the 5-6, the 1 through 4. And I think LA's likely going to do that. Like they were leading the game they led the game for 56 minutes, and they had a 4-goal lead, a 3-goal lead. They had 2-goal leads for long stretches of that game. And they still didn't play their fourth line or their third pair D much. So what happens in a tight game? We'll see. But maybe that benefits Edmonton a little bit. We'll find out. But Cons, what are your thoughts on loading up McDavid and Draisaitl right off the hop?
Not necessarily a huge fan of it. I mean, I think that obviously the results were so good last game. It'd be tempting to not to do it, but I just feel like that's a great thing to go to if you need to. I'd rather try to have a little bit of balance in the lineup and be able to roll those guys out back to back and really try to just wear down the Kings in their offensive end. But I mean, it's hard to go away from the temptation, I would say. Like if you're Chris Knobloch, you saw what they're able to do. They're able to drive the play. I know they had the extra man for a good chunk of it as well, but they have that chemistry, and those guys can drag you into the battle. So it wouldn't be something I'd go to. I still think of it as in case of emergency, but I guess I can say I get the upside to doing it.
Well, speaking of playoffs, how about the Indiana Pacers? They win again. They're up 2-0 over the Bucks. OKC Thunder only a 19-point win as they lead Memphis 2-0. And the Lakers even up their series last night with a 94-85 win over Minnesota. So the NBA playoffs, we got 2 series there, 2-0, and the other one 1-1. Tonight, Boston hosts Orlando, Cleveland hosts Miami. Those 2 teams are up 1-0. And Golden State on the road looking to go up 2-0. Other NHL games tonight, we will see the Canadiens and the Capitals. Alex Ovechkin, what can he do after 2 goals and 1 assist? Factored in all 3 goals for the Caps in their 3-2 overtime winning game 1. And the Stars and the Avs, game 3 tonight. And might have Gabriel Landeskog. Haven't seen anything 100% confirmed yet, whether or not he will play it. It looks like it, but last game, a lot of people thought he was going to play, and then he didn't play. So took the warm-up, didn't play. Back at home, does it add him a little juice? Maybe. And so I got to wonder, I'm going to look to see when did Colorado, when was their last game that they played? Because I'm curious when you look Colorado's last game, because if it was Wednesday, then my theory might be true. No, it wasn't. Okay. It's out the window then. Don't worry about it. They played like last Tuesday. So Kane is in last night in the NHL. You saw it. The Montreal Canadiens take a 2-0 series lead. They get an overtime winner from Max Domi. What about, my goodness, what about the game in Florida? A little surprised? I was. That was an ass kicking by the Panthers. They go into Tampa Bay and absolutely demolish them. But by the way, they scored, I shouldn't even say that, 6 goals on 17 shots. What's happening on Vasilevsky? I always like to remind people, It's, you know what? In today's NHL, you get into the playoffs, and I know you can get, and everybody wants focus on it's not always just the goaltending, but Nate Schmidt scoring a pair of goals last night for the Panthers, as did Matthew Tkachuk as he returned to the lineup. So Oiler fans are maybe hoping the same type of performance from Evander Kane. Can he come in and make an appearance right away, make it known? At bare minimum, I would think he's going to add something physically. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Gregor, taxes, death, and McDavid, Draisaitl together, the only 3 reasons in life that are guaranteed. The Oilers have had how many coaches in the past? It's too tough for the top 2 guys in the world not to put them together. Well, it seems that way. And like I said, if it's a limited time, okay. We'll see how the game goes. Is this one thing that he does because they're on the road, and maybe at home he'll do something different when he has last change? Like, there's lots of different strategies. I don't love it. Obviously, I don't hate it because they've had success in the past. So I can understand why you do it. If it was me, I would still be like, geez, I'd like to start the guys separate. Because let's say they start and they score a few goals. Are you pulling them apart for the game? Like, the only way you're pulling them apart, most likely, is because it's not working. So that's obviously less than ideal. Coming up on the show today, we got a great lineup. Mike Rupp, as always, will join us. It's Wednesday afternoon. Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM will be by in the first hour. We got Yaremchuk in hour number 2. We'll be talking some NBA playoffs as well. Kelly Buchberger is going to join us today at 4:20. We got another edition of Here Comes the Sun, your chance to qualify to win a $15,000 turnkey solar system for your home. Unreal. Spec will join us from LA. John Holven, the mayor, he'll be by as well. Give us the Kings side of thing. No changes for the Kings. They obviously loved their first 38 minutes. Didn't like the final 22. So how do they have a repeat performance? And how do the Oilers slow down their power play? That's obviously got to happen, because through one game, special teams was a big advantage for LA. Big advantage. So Edmonton's got to find a way to continue to look at that. Now, I was looking at the games, and if you combine, now it's only one game, and this is a super small sample size, but it's the playoffs, and it's all we got to go off of. But if you look at combined power play chances per game, the Oilers and the Kings, they had 7 in that game. So that's an average of 7 per game. The Avalanche and the Stars, in their 2 games, they've had a total of 14, which is 7 per game. So that's tied for the most. The Maple Leafs and the Sens have had an average of 6 total power plays per game. The Blues and the Jets are at 6.5. The Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes come in at 11.5 total in that series. Florida and Tampa last night, they had a total of 6. Montreal and Washington, only 4 in that series. And the Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights, they're averaging 2 per game, because each team has had 2. So that's it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Now, Vegas was the least penalized team in the NHL this year. They don't take penalties, and it seems like the refs just like, and I don't know if anybody watched that game. To me, I thought there was a blatant slew foot last night in that game that was not called, but a huge win if you were watching the out-of-town scoreboard by Minnesota. They had an unreal first period. They were all over them, and they cruised to a 5-3 victory. 5-2? 5-3. I turned it off. What's my memory? Is my memory correct? I want to say it was 5-3. No, it was 5-2. So there you go, 5-2. Matt Boldy was good again. Kaprizov was very good again. And hey, look at the Wild. They scored 5 goals on 17 shots. The Panthers scored 6 goals on 17 shots. Maple Leafs 3 goals on 21 shots. There's lots of games where you're not having, quote, great goaltending if you only look at the save percentage. So that's what happens in the playoffs, baby. It happens more than maybe you like to think. It's not just the Oilers. But hey, Stuart Skinner, got to make an extra save tonight. The Oilers, ideally, don't give up 14 high-danger chances. And that's the other thing. I've always said this, and I will continue to say it. ClearSight Analytics uses video, and they rewind everything to check their scoring chances. They had the high-danger scoring chances 14-9 in favor of LA. You go to Natural Stat Trick, it had it 14-8 in favor of Edmonton. And that's why I try to tell people, I know that it's free and it's public available, but Natural Stat Trick is not the site to go to. Shots on goal, 100%. Shots are shots. But their scoring chances, high danger, are not accurate. Okay, because all they do is they just scrape the website and they base it on shot distance. That's all it's based on. So it's not that accurate. So just to remind you, if you get all freaked out about stuff and you're looking at, well, look at the expected goals, because that impacts expected goals number for them. So I know the Clear site isn't publicly available, and we get most of those numbers, especially for the playoffs, but it's just a reminder that the Natural Stat Trick, if you want to use it for shots, it's great. Goals for, obviously great. Minutes played, outstanding. But when it comes to the scoring chances, it is not the most accurate. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Mike Rupp will join us. We are live at OTR, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, your place to watch the game. All sorts of great locations to watch. All the TVs, man, they upgraded all the TVs. They look unreal. I've got the big screen if you want as well. You can sit right on the dance floor. It's great. Jasper Ave and 118th Street.
We've finished construction of our gamma radiation containment facility. Is it up to code? Is it going to be safe?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Testing team reporting. We test your commercial operations using tools like infrared to ensure safe operation. Trust us to prevent potential calamity before it strikes.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada with sports and entertainment properties, including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold till the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Truck Month is on at Chevrolet. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on a 2025 Silverado 1500 Custom Blackout or Custom Trail Boss. With Custom Trail Boss's available class-exclusive Duramax 3-liter diesel engine and Z71 off-road package with a 2-inch factory suspension lift, you get both on-road confidence and off-road capability. Dirt road ahead. Let's go! Truck Month is awesome! Ask your Chevrolet dealer for details.
Your Cooperator's Advisor can help your business do what you want it to. Like we have 2, actually 3, make that 4 locations plan. Talk to a local advisor today about small business insurance that sees your needs as anything but small.
Looking for a local Cooperator's Advisor? Give Camrose Insurance Financial Solutions a call at 780-672-9251 and see the difference a personalized plan makes. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EUL. Get your power play amped up with EUL, supplying the City of Champions and Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. EUL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, a little quiet riot for you. Ooh, nice. Welcome back, Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Ooh, had the jerk chicken here at On the Rocks. It's unbelievable, but it's got got a little bit of a kick to it. Woo, little bit of a kick to it. Now, granted, I'll admit openly, I'm little soft when it comes to the to hot stuff. I don't love it. I don't love it at all. But I like the taste of it. I just don't love the after effects. Now let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Female Super League, designed to elevate female youth hockey. The FSL will provide a platform for U12 and U14 players to develop and improve their skills. Learn more at femalesuperleague.com, which kind of combines with the fact that the PWHL announced today they are expanding out west, will be in Vancouver as the 7th franchise. So young girls in Western Canada, you got a team a little bit closer. You got to think eventually down the road, probably have a team in Alberta, I would think. Now that that have to find a arena to play in. That's a bit. You're not gonna house them to start in the rink. It's too costly to rent it. Right? In case you're wondering why, that's the big reason why. So, and just hey, if the Oil Kings in an ideal world, they'd have a smaller facility. You'd have like an 8,000 seat stadium, and it would be great. Now let's talk a little hockey. Mike Rupp, NHL Network Stanley Cup winner, joins us. Rupper, how you doing, my man?
What's up, Greg? I just was in the chair getting makeup on, so I'm glad we're not doing any on camps today. It would have been something for you guys.
What you got a lot of makeup on there, Rupper, right? You got wearing some mascara. What's going on?
A little bit of everything. Hey, you don't get this beautiful just from. It's not natural, You got a lot of scars I got to cover up before I go on air.
Oh yeah. Oh, buddy, you should just go au naturel once. Let's see him. Isn't it Chicks Take Scars? Isn't that the replacements, right? It's awesome. So
they don't dig this many.
Hey, it's been an exciting start to the playoffs. What did you make of last night? You look at the scoreboard and it's like, wow, 6-2 for the Panthers, but they had 6 goals on 17 shots. What the hell happened in Tampa Bay? In Tampa?
Yeah, it was weird. It's a weird game because you wouldn't anticipate what that score is, but at the same time, not just them being able to get that many goals on such few shots. I mean, it's hard to really chalk up what that game was. You had that part of the game with the challenge that went against Tampa that gives another power play or gives a power play to the Panthers and they score there. So that kind of started really opening things up. But yeah, just a weird one for game one. I mean, it was obviously the last series to get going. It just felt weird all around. But I think the things to take from it is Matthew Tkachuk looks good. He had quite the move on his goal where he's kind of left alone in front with Vasi. And I think it's going to be a long, drawn-out series. And I think most people probably thought that. And I can't wait to see what Tampa brings coming back. But I don't know how you really assess game one. It was a weird one.
Oh, it was very weird. Like, Vasilevsky's got a .647 save percentage and a 6.02 goals against. It's mind-blowing. So we'll see. You know what? Nate Schmidt scores 2 goals. Kachuk comes back, scores a pair of goals. And Tampa Bay they didn't give up a lot, but they obviously looked out of sorts. Vasilevsky can obviously play better than he did. The New Jersey-Carolina series, man, I give the Devils, like, they're banged up. They already were out with Jack Hughes. Now the other Hughes is out. Then you don't have Dylan. And, man, they had a great first period, but they just couldn't hold on to it. I kind of know what they were thinking on the Martinook goal, but is that series for you? Like, I didn't give New Jersey much of a chance before it started. Now they lose some guys. Like, it's, they might get the gentleman's sweep and win one game at home, but I don't see any chance that they come back. Do you?
No, I don't really feel like that either. I just think that maybe if it was a different team, and what I mean by that is Carolina's pretty consistent in the way they're going to play every night. Now, I don't know if I think they have as high as of a ceiling as some other teams, but they're really consistent. They don't have the dips that a lot of teams have. So I guess when you're New Jersey and you put forward a certain kind of effort, like you know what you're going to be up against. And Carolina, man, they're frustrating the way they play. So I think it's just kind of the perfect storm against the Devils right now. This is 2 seasons now in a row, and I know last year they struggled. They weren't getting goaltending, but they had a ton of injuries as well. It just kind of seemed like coming off the prior year where they go and they have success in the first round against the Rangers, and you're thinking like, all right, this team's moving in the right direction. It just seemed like last year was, all right, well, we'll run this back when we're healthy. And then they get into this year, they get the goaltending at the beginning of the year, things look great, and then all of a sudden they start playing bad, and then the injuries happen again. It's some tough sledding, and that's really the wrong team to go against. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep working. I think Markstrom gives them an opportunity to win a couple games in this series, but I agree with you. If they win a game, I think they probably only win one.
Yeah. The Ottawa Senators. Well, you know what? Obviously, they played better. They didn't get the result they want. They ended up losing. What do you make of the Sens through 2 games? And then conversely, what do you make of the Maple Leafs?
So I've actually really liked a lot of the Sens game through 2 games. Now, some of their details aren't there. Just I hate to be the one that kind of jumping on this. I know a lot of people are. Their inexperience is showing for me, and it's not because you don't care. I think they care so much that they're kind of running out of position. There's times where they're caught in between. I'll go to the Domi overtime winner last night, and I know Batherson's kind of getting raked over the coals a little bit for this, but I feel like they're either at times taking bad penalties, like in game 1, where they're trying to be too physical and trying to force that issue too much. And then maybe in a situation like with Batherson on that overtime play, and there's a few things that went wrong on that play, but it's almost like you don't want to commit to anything. So you're kind of like in between and you're paralyzed in that moment, and then nothing happens and you give Max Domi the middle of the ice and he scores. So I think their inexperience is coming through. And I've always said this about the playoffs, and this is kind of my best way of kind of making sense of it. It's like you're asked to find this level that you, whether it's physically, energetically, emotionally, that you've never gotten to before. But we also want you to be very calm in your decision making. So it's really hard, right? It's really hard to be like, oh, I'm going to physically do X, Y, and Z to this level I've never been to before. But I'm also going to be very smart in the way I do it. It just doesn't line up all the time. I think that's some of the things they're seeing right now. But I think they played very strong, very well. And I don't think we've seen the best Toronto yet. Toronto's been fine. They've been good. But this might be the kind of slow start to the playoffs. Maybe this is the perfect matchup for them in round 1.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's Toronto. Their big guns came out in the first game, which is what they needed. They've needed more of that, and we'll see if that continues. But Ottawa is obviously going to come home. They're already talking about it after the game. I can't wait to get the fans. Fans haven't had a home game since 2017, and they're trying to do everything they can not to have an invasion of Toronto fans, but they're probably going to have some there for certain. Now, Minnesota Vegas, man, what a first period by the Minnesota Wild last night. Like, there's only been 4 combined penalties in 2 games in that series thus far. Vegas, took the fewest penalties in NHL history in a full season this past year. But man, Minnesota came out. Matt Boldy continued to score, and then they got some other guys producing. Kaprizov gets 3 points. Man, they looked really good last night.
Yeah, they did. They looked fantastic. I mean, Matt Boldy is incredible through these first couple of games. I wonder how much, and there's certain players when we look at Four Nations tournament, young players, we were waiting for so long, even on the stage where some guys have been around for a long time. We talked about McKinnon, McDavid, Crosby. We've been waiting for them to play on Team Canada for so long. Well, there's some young guys in this league too that got an opportunity to play on the same sheet of ice, same team, or against these guys. And I wonder what it would do for their game. And it looks like Matt Boldy's playing with a whole renewed level of confidence. And I think he's been awesome. Kirill, what a saucer pass on that one on Boldy's goal. Are you kidding me? Like that, he's so talented. I mean, I think Kirill Kaprizov, it just shows how important and how different he makes that team. They're a good team. They're structured. They play hard. They do a lot of the right things. Having their D-core healthy and having Eriksson Ek too, but having Kirill back is a game changer for them.
Oh,
like,
God.
I think Kirill is, I don't know where you have him, Greg, but like he's a top 5 player in the league. Like if we're going to sit here and talk about Connor and Nathan McKinnon and Leon Draisaitl, I mean, I mean Kucherov. I put Kucherov, and then I'd probably slide in there at 5. Kirill, or maybe 6. I guess give or take a couple. I mean, let me ask you this today. Like, is there anybody on the Toronto Maple Leafs who are taking over Kirill Kaprizov? And I love Willie Nylander's game. I love Austin Matthews. I'm not. I'm taking Kirill. Like, I think we're seeing that. Like, this guy is electrifying the way he could drag a team into it. I don't know if he'll have enough. We'll have to see.
Well, you give him an elite center. Or even above average center, and I wonder potentially, how he could look. But yeah, he is a heck of a, like, he's top 5 exciting players for me for sure. Is his overall game there yet? But that's a really good question. Would I take him ahead of Matthews or Marner? Well, definitely would at the salary cap right now. No question about it. I'm hearing rumblings.
If he played center, I think you would for sure. You maybe hesitate because of the center ice position, but I mean, it's a fair argument. He's out of this world.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Rupp, because I've been watching the game, and like, when you played and when I played, it's obviously I played a lot, and I never played at your level, but minor hockey, everything, centers, wingers used to be up high, and center there's a lot more of fluidity in how guys play now. And, like we see some wingers that are down low lots more often than they have been in the past. And so like the center ice position, I don't know if you have a really good player, it's kind of like the Selke. Everyone's like, oh, the Selke's got to be a center iceman. And I'm like, I watched Sam Reinhart and I'm like, does it really have to be? Like, I know you take face off, so that's an element that's definitely there. But do you think the game has changed enough that the center winger position sometimes maybe isn't as obvious of a deferral? Like, hey, Matthews, good, but Kirill Kaprizov and what he does as a winger, I don't care. It's a more electrifying. Now, Matthews had 2 pretty good years, obviously, so it's hard maybe to take him. But this season, he's definitely not as good as Kaprizov.
I think that we're getting different ways of measuring things too, right? Like, I don't think Kirill Kaprizov is he's not overly sound defensively. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to be minced in what I'm saying. I mean, he's still got a little ways to go there. I will say this though, he competes on pucks. Like, if you chuck a puck in the corner and you send him in there with someone else, he's gonna do everything he can to come out there with the puck. So that's a great start to it. I think he's still learning that aspect of the game. But I think we have more measurements now. I think the fact that Mitch Marner gets Selke nominations, we mentioned Reinhart, wingers. It wasn't that long ago that wingers didn't drive offense, and Mitch Marner, Nikita Kucherov, they erased that. I mean, those are wingers that you could put on a team and they drive offense. Kirill Kaprizov is one of those as well. But now you're starting to get these different measurements. You got stick checks and where you get, I don't even know all the categories, where you're basically breaking up plays with with a poke check, getting sticks in lanes. Like, these aren't just defensive categories where we measure. Remember, like, Selke used to be basically plus minus. Or you get the tough matchups and your plus minus is pretty good, and you got to get a certain level of points. Like, now it's changed in a lot of different ways. So I mean, I think that's a great point. The wing position has really evolved from driving offense to defensive play as well. I think it's a lot of it due to the way we can kind of measure things in the analytics of the game right now.
Mike Rupp joins us from the NHL Network. Rupp, we'll get to the games tonight. The Oilers and the LA Kings. Evander Kane comes in. First game since June 10th. John Klingberg will play, so Brown and Jeff Skinner come out. LA dominated the first 38 minutes. The Oilers were sleepwalking. It's like they forgot it was the playoffs, and they woke up and made it a game and tied it, and then ultimately lost it on somewhat of a fluky goal, but a great defensive play by Gavrikov that doesn't get talked about enough to start that play. What do you make of game one, and what do you make of Kane coming in and Knobloch loading up Draisaitl and McDavid? Do you like that decision to start the game to see if the Oilers can get a lead?
Yeah, I've always loved when just watching Edmonton over the years with even different coaches. I love when you keep people on their toes, and I think that's a weapon you have, and just to be unpredictable and when you're going to use it. I mean, there's certain things I sit there and watch these games, and we've seen it happen sometimes where I'd be like, hey, after every penalty kill, you come back with those two on the ice at the same time. I would do certain starts of games, the first shift of a game. I mean, you've got a weapon where you can really keep the opponent on their toes. So, yeah, I like going to that. I mean, we always call it the nuclear option. And you can see in that last 20 minutes plus, these guys got going and they can, we knew this is nothing new. I just would love to see just what would it look like if the first 40 looked a little bit different for Edmonton, and I just don't think it's going to take much, where even post game hearing Drew Doughty's comments, and I think he likes to stir things up, so I don't always take what he says is actually how they feel. I think he likes to push buttons, and I love that about him, but almost like, hey, we're the far superior team or whatever. I'm paraphrasing what he said. I think they're trying to talk themselves up. Like, hey,
agree.
We're good. We played strong. Like, we don't have to be worried. They would scare the hell out of me what Connor McDavid did at the end of that game. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if they get anything else going their way, the Edmonton Oilers, you might be in trouble. And this is going to rehash a lot of things that have happened in the last couple of years. So I think, Greg's, like, you're talking a game, like a solid 60 minutes can throw this series on its head, because I think it can rehash a lot of emotions that have gone through the LA Kings over the last few years.
Well, and I had said that before game one. I felt like had Edmonton came back and managed to win that game one, I think it would have been lights out Irene. I just think that the Kings would be like, oh my 100%. God, right? Like, I think it would have been over. So now they're like, hey, we held on. We got a big goal. That's all great. But there's still got to be a little bit of self-doubt if the Oilers can play well. Now, I look at LA's power play, man, and it was good. Right. And it was good. I know they didn't score on the 5-on-3, but they were 2 for the first 3, which was a difference maker in the game. Right. Anytime your power play is 40%, it's a good power play. And their penalty kill was perfect. Last year, special teams was major for the Oilers in that series. They ended up being 145% combined because of perfect PK and a 45% power play. But that 5-man unit, Rupper, with Kempe on the top, man, they moved around quick. They obviously love to look for Fiala on the right side. And anything different Edmonton should do on the PK to try to slow their power play down?
Yeah, it's I don't know. These are things I think that this sounds really elementary in saying it, but I think that you just make them make plays. You just don't. And what I mean by that, you don't want to run around so much where you get vulnerable in certain spots. Like, if they're gonna be able to, you want to take away certain lanes, passing lanes. But at the end of the day, if they're able to feather a pass through the middle of the ice and land it perfectly for a one-timer on the far side, once in a while you got to tip your cap. I just think just protecting the middle of that ice and understanding who they want. I mean, I think Kevin Fiala is the next factor for this team. That he is probably. I said it yesterday. For me, I think him and probably Phil Forsberg are two guys in the league that can either be when they get hot. I mean, they don't stop scoring, but they also have stretches where they don't do much, right? And I think that they're trying to. Kevin Fiala looks good so far, and I think they're going to try to force feed that. So, you just try to be aware of that. And yeah, it's just I don't know. I was just one where just don't get over yourself too much. Don't try to overly pressure. Just protect that middle of the ice, and if they're going to make plays, they're going to make plays. But I don't know. You got to get kills at the right time, and that's such a big part of playoff hockey. And we saw that, like you mentioned last year. This is a team that knows when that's going your way. Like, that's a huge advantage, and I'd rather have that going your way than even a strong power play. So it's something that runs hot and cold as far as power plays for any team, and it just make them make plays. And it sounds pretty simple saying, much more easy to say it than doing it, but I think that's where kind of your goals are at.
Yeah, and that's fair. What about Evander Kane, Rupp? What are you expecting from a guy who hasn't played in 10 months, but says, hey, last year when I played, I was playing on one leg, and I feel great. Obviously the adrenaline's going to be ramped up for Kane. What do you think he can bring to Edmonton tonight?
I'm expecting him to be chaos. That's who he is. I mean, I've seen him. I played against him. I mean, there's only one way Evander Kane goes, and they need that. They need that so much in this lineup, and he brings a certain thing that a lot of guys don't. So I'm expecting that from him. I hope he's good to go. I hope he could be impactful because I think he can make a big difference for the Oil.
Rupper, as always, buddy, great to catch up with you. Enjoy the games, and we'll be talking probably some clinching games next Wednesday. Have an awesome day.
Awesome, Greg. Enjoy, buddy.
There you go. That's Mike Rupp from the NHL Network. If you missed it, Evander Kane is in. John Klingberg is in. Josh Brown is out. And Jeff Skinner is out. We talked about it yesterday. If Kane was coming in, to me, it was Skinner or Podkolzin really were the only options. Like, they're not taking out any of the centers, so there's 4 guys gone. Janmark scored, so he wasn't coming out. Perry scored, he wasn't coming out. Hyman's not coming out. So I guess maybe Arvidsson, but he's a righty. And the Oilers, you know what? They had Frederick play right wing for a bit. He's a lefty. I don't think they were going to do that. So I thought it was between those two realistically. And, it's Skinner for a game. Podkolzin and Arvidsson are now down on the 4th line with Janmark. So, you know what? I think those are 2 guys that how they play tonight will impact whether or not they're in the lineup for game 3 or not. So they're going to have to play well to stay in the lineup. We'll come back. Dave McCarthy will join us. It is the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. You can use the promo code Gregor100. That's Gregor100. Get a free play on your next deposit. And also, it's Lotto 649, $52 million in the gold ball jackpot tonight. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca.
My utility bills are going through the roof. How can I take advantage of the sun and put my lazy roof to work?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Energy team reporting. When you're ready to make your home or business more efficient, Action Electrical has the power to install solar panel systems and EV chargers.
Facing an electrical menace? Call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta with supercharged skills and strong family values. ActionElectrical.net.
There's one. And another. No, not spring flowers yet, but rather huge deals. It's GMC's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick. Nab 0% financing up to 72 months on our most popular Sierra half-tons, or massive discounts starting at $8,000. Choose your truck from a great selection, like the fabulous all-new Canyon, right up to the trailer-hauling Sierra HD with the industry-leading Duramax diesel. Spring into Wolf GMC Buick today and snag your truck, and see the savings at wolfgmcbuick.com.
Now until April 30th, The Brick is saving you more. Save up to 60% off Canadian-made sofas when you buy the matching love cedar chair. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. And when you use your Flexity card, get equal monthly payments and 0% interest for 60 months on furniture and mattress purchases. Plus, you're automatically entered to win a $5,000 Brick shopping spree. And the more you buy, the more you save, up to an additional $1,200 off select major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker, and join us for the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Cross Mitsubishi on 34th Ave and 96th Street.
May 3rd, don't miss Riverside Motorsports annual spring blowout. Save 15% on parts, gear, and accessories, and up to 60% off non-current riding apparel. Pre-purchase 30% off tires for your street bike and get a free installation. Please call to book your spot. Plus, get a chance to win 2 Morgan Wallen tickets. Bring the whole family down for free hot dogs and pop at Riverside's annual spring blowout. Highway 2 North in St. Albert. RideRiverside.com.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquacentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
The Alzheimer's Face-Off presented by Christensen Communities Limited hits the ice this Friday to Sunday, pairing hockey fans with some of their favorite players from the NHL Alumni Association for a fun-filled weekend in support of the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories. Friday features a champions luncheon followed by the teams hitting the ice on Saturday and Sunday in a friendly hockey tournament at Terwilliger Rec Center. To purchase a table to the champions luncheon or to learn more about how you can get involved in the tournament, visit alzheimersfaceoff.ca for more info.
Missioner Allen Auction's public unreserved equipment auction is Friday at 9 a.m. featuring backhoes, crawler dozers, excavators, mini excavators, graders, platform lifts, skid steers, snorkel lift, drum packers, turf mowers, wheel loaders, plus commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
When you need to get away to find a hidden gem where beauty meets serenity, Silver Creek Golf and RV Resort offers a breathtaking experience. With an exquisite 27-hole course, a fabulous restaurant, peaceful camping sites, the list goes on. Whether you spend the day or even the weekend, there's no shortage of ways to have the time of your life. Call Silver Creek Golf and RV Resort to book your ticket today. 780-855-3982. Online at silvercreekgolfcourse.com.
Missioner Allen Auctions public unreserved equipment auctions is Friday at 9 a.m. A complete dispersal of R. Badkey Oilfield Limited, including 2020 Jerry Tried Lowboy and Gincor Tri-Step Deck, 2021 Wren and 2018 Doper Tri-End Dumps. Info at maauctions.com.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Garage Superstore by Premier Built Garage is the ultimate destination for everything garage, storage solutions, cabinets, vehicle hoists, accessories, and even Traeger grills. Visit our massive 8,000 square foot showroom at Calgary Trail and 34th Ave or online at garagesuperstore.ca.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Wednesday afternoon, game day, Sports 1440. Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. The NHL playoffs continuing tonight. The Oilers on the road in Los Angeles, taking on the Kings. Evander Kane is back. John Klingberg will also make his playoff debut with the Oilers. Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner come out. Kings, no lineup changes. The Oilers have jigged their lines. McDavid and Draisaitl are going to play together. Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, and Kane. Corey Perry, by the way, is on the top line. Henrique is going to center Brown and Frederick, and Janmark between Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Now, we know those lines are going to switch around. Do I think Corey Perry's going to play every shift 5-on-5 with McDavid and Draisaitl? I do not, right? They play a lot, and I just don't think you're going to ask him to play that many minutes all of a sudden. So I could see Hyman getting a few shifts on that line, especially coming out of power plays and other things. So we'll see. The Deneau line did outscore McDavid's line at 5-on-5, 2-0. And so, they're going to want to go for that matchup again. But McDavid obviously had himself quite the game, 4 points. McDavid became the 8th player in NHL history to have 40 points against one franchise in the playoffs. He did it in 19 games. Now, him and Gretzky are the only guys to average over 2 points a game against one team in the playoffs when you play that many. Gretzky had 43 points in 19 games against the Jets / Arizona, but I think all his games are against the Jets. And then he averaged 2 points a game, 74 points in 37 playoff games against the Calgary Flames. And then you look at it, like he had 74 points against the Flames, and I think it dropped down to like 37 or 38 for Mark Messier. Like Gretzky was on a completely different level. It's nuts. Anyway, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. Stop in at McD's. The McValue menu offers options Lots of options starting at $4 each plus tax, including the Cheeseburger Deluxe or the Junior McChicken. And you can even get a $5.99 McValue meal right now only at McDonald's. As Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM joined us. And Davey, it was a much more entertaining game last night in Toronto. The Senators, I thought, played much better, kind of maybe got over their jitters from game one and did a much better job containing Toronto's top guys. But ultimately, it was Mr. Benoit leading the charge. And obviously, Domi ends up scoring the overtime winner.
Yeah, I thought Ottawa played much better last night. I thought they were dominant in the second period. And quite frankly, I think the Leafs were lucky to win that game because they really sat back in the middle frame and Ottawa was all over them. Anthony Stolarz came up with a number of big stops. I thought in the third they were okay, but still sat back to an extent. And you just kind of had that feeling that Ottawa was going to get one of those types of goals where they get a bounce goes their way and tie it, and they did. But then in overtime, I think we might have seen again another example of inexperience and maybe nerves set in. Credit to Simon Benoit. Made a great play to step up, but an ill-advised pass. And then I really don't know what Drake Batherson was doing in his own end when Max Domi came rolling through. Like, I mean, you want to talk about stick check. I don't even know if that constitutes that. You got to take the body there. You can't let him waltz right into the zone, cross the ice, and fire it from the slot. And he did. And now Ottawa's down 0-2. So, look, I think the Leafs got away with one. I think they played like their C game at best last night. But now you head to Ottawa, and you're up 2-0, looking in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, you're up 2. Now you go back to Ottawa, and they obviously got to try to win at home. The odd game of the night, I don't know because you're in Toronto how much you got to see of it or not, but the Panthers and the Lightning, which you score 6 goals on Vasilevsky on 17 shots. It's, like you look at his numbers today and they're just like, what is happening? And we saw Hellebuck get lit up by Colorado last year in the postseason. It wasn't just him; it's obviously the defensive play in front of him. But that's just a really odd game. Or did you see anything that makes you think, man, this Florida might just take this series pretty easily?
No, we were tracking it last night. I was surprised to see Florida play at that level because they really hadn't shown it for, like, I don't know, since the Four Nations, really. We saw spurts where they had guys out of the lineup and other guys stepped up and they played okay, but not like the Panthers team that we grew accustomed to at the beginning of the year and in the playoffs last year. So, the old saying is you can't flip a switch. Well, it really looked like they did flip a switch. When you get Matthew Tkachuk back in the lineup, he looked like he was feeling pretty good. And they looked like the Florida Panthers of early in the season and the playoffs last year. And, I thought Tampa didn't play very well. Vasilevsky didn't play well. And it's funny with Vasilevsky, the Leafs are another team that seem to have his number lately. It seems like Vasilevsky either plays out of his mind or like he's bordering on being pulled, or wanting to pull him because he's not playing that well. So he did not play well at all last night, and he's going to have to be better. Tampa's going to have to be better at large if they're going to have a chance, because this Florida team looks suddenly now like they mean business. And by the time you get to game 3, you're going to get more help from Florida with Aaron Ekblad getting back in the lineup.
Yeah, well, he comes back in for game 2, and that'll be a big boost for sure. I think Florida's like, hey, we split it, and then we are good to go. Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM joins us. Davey, we get to tonight's game. The Montreal Canadiens taking on the Washington Capitals. Ovi had himself quite the night, 2 goals, including the overtime winner. His first overtime winner, which maybe isn't surprising when you look at a lot of the great players overtime don't have, like Joe Sakic has 8, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you get a lot. But like Crosby has 1. Merrill Lemieux has none, and he's considered one of the best, goal scorers ever. So for Ovi to get it, it's kind of fitting, I guess, in the year that's been his with over 40 goals to break the all-time record. And Montreal, that it was interesting. I don't know if you saw Carberry. He talked about, because everybody was looking at the top line in Montreal, they dominated him. Well, he's like, yeah, but they had one shift where they had like 5 high danger chances. They ended up scoring, but it was really the one shift that skews all the numbers. And it was a very interesting response from a coach who's clearly on the ball and likes how his team played, other than one really bad shift where Montreal dominated and was able to tie the game.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of looking at it. It doesn't surprise me to hear Spencer Carberry say something like that. He really is, as you put it, on the ball. And it's a good point because I didn't think they were dominant that shift. I thought they were, in the game, they were fine. But yeah, they had the one shift where they were obviously outstanding. So, look, I thought Montreal, again, like Ottawa, looked a little nervous early in that game. But, I thought as the game went on, it was impressive. They seemed to get rid of those nerves and get some footing in the game. And I thought they were really good in the third period. They could have come out in the third, looking woe is me. But they really turned it around, and they found a way to tie it. And heading into overtime, honestly, I thought the momentum was with Montreal. So, you get Ovechkin scoring that game winner early in the overtime. That's obviously huge for Washington. But I'm interested to see how Montreal plays again here tonight because I've liked their team. I thought they've been playing really well to get into the playoffs. And sometimes those type of teams can be dangerous, especially against a team like Washington that, quite honestly, hadn't played really all that well for about 3 weeks or so. So this should be an interesting one tonight. I'm expecting Montreal to come out with a really good effort and see if they can tie this.
You have the Oilers, of course, the late game. They're taking on LA, and the Oilers stunk for the first 38 minutes of that game, and then looked great afterwards. And so, we had Mike Rupp on, and he's like, "Yeah, Drew Doughty." Rupper feels that LA still trying to talk themselves into that. Hey, you know what? We play great, rather than Edmonton just woke up. And because McDavid has 40 points in 19 career games against the LA Kings now. He's one of only 8 players in NHL history to have 40 points against a team in the playoffs. And a lot like Gordie Howe did it, but it took him like 50-some games. And now him and Gretzky are obviously in a different ballpark. But what did you make of that kind of Jekyll and Hyde game from arguably both teams?
Well, I think it was more a case that Connor McDavid went legend in the third period, and that allowed them to tie it. Quite honestly, that might have been the best period I've ever seen him play. And that's saying something because I've seen him play a lot of good periods. But the 2 assists where, he was able to set guys up with essentially a king, if not 2, hanging off his back was incredible. His goal, it looked like a video game the way he was able to cut in and just go underneath the right pad. It's as good as I've seen Connor McDavid play, quite honestly. So, I don't think the Oilers can say, we played a great game. I thought they deserved to lose that game 4-0, 5-2 type thing. But McDavid just wouldn't be denied. And then what's really disappointing is you end up wasting an effort like that from McDavid, giving the game winner up still in regulation on a goal that just like it went right in the middle of the net. I know it was a fluttering shot, but it went right in the middle of the net. You got to find a way to stop that.
I disagree with you on that goal, Dave. I've talked to so many goaltenders about that goal. It's just like Kevin Woodley, Devin Dubnyk, goalies who played. They're like, there's not much a goalie can do on that play. The guy's coming down. It's a one-timer. You're expecting him to hit the puck cleanly. You never expect a flutter puck. And then you have a guy on a layered screen coming right in front of your sight line. Like he says, it looks bad because it's a flutter puck, but every goal that we talked to here the last 2 days doesn't think that's a goal. It's a bad goal at all.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah, who am I to criticize the guys who play the position? Fact of the matter is, though, he wasn't very good early in the game either. The shot that essentially rolled in off his back, like Stuart Skinner's just got to be better than he was in game 1. And if you score 5 goals in a game, you should probably find a way to win that game. So, he's going to need to be better. But I think not just Skinner, a lot of the guys on the Oilers are going to need to be better because it looked to me like a game where they asked Connor McDavid to do it all himself, and he damn well nearly did. But that's not going to be a recipe for success moving forward.
What about the fact that the Oilers scored 5 on Kemper? And, it's 4 straight years that they found a way, doesn't matter who the LA goalie is, to light him up. Does that concern you from an LA side?
Yeah, I mean, To an extent, I mean, their system is playing sound defensively, and yeah, they gave up more than they tend to give up. Kemper certainly gave up more than he tends to give up. I think he had a streak of 15 in a row where he allowed 2 or less. But again, what we saw Connor McDavid do on in the third period in Game 1 was insane. Like, as good as he is, can he play at that level time and again? And if not, will they be able to generate without him? Because in Game 1, they were not able really to generate much unless it was on the back of Connor McDavid doing something miraculous. So, yeah, I think to an extent it's somewhat concerning, but you take the W, you review that, you try and find a way to at least slow McDavid. And if you can do that, nobody else really from Edmonton looked all that threatening in Game 1.
Do you like Knobloch's decision to load up McDavid and Draisaitl to start the game in the hopes of maybe getting a lead? That's what I assume in his thought process.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Because I think he knows what's working right now, and it's those two guys and really not much else. And I don't think Edmonton can risk playing from behind in the game. So if you get a lead because of the two of those guys playing together, that's a good thing. But I think to load up entirely throughout the entire game is maybe not the best option, because there's not much else coming from down the lineup. And if you can spread it out a little bit, at least give Jim Hiller and the Los Angeles Kings, make them make a decision as to who they want to put their best defensive players against. It might free up one or the other, and then give somebody else the opportunity to contribute as well. And that's going to be really important, because that's what the Edmonton Oilers did so well last year, was that they had some contributions from guys not named Draisaitl and McDavid in the playoffs. And you just can't go on a deep run without that. So, yeah, I get it. I think it's smart to try to get a lead early. And if they do, I would split them up and try to lengthen the lineup a little bit.
Davey, enjoy the games tonight. Should be fun. Obviously, the games just get more intense, more exciting the deeper we go into the playoffs, and the rivalries get a little bit heated. So I can't wait. Look forward to it tonight. We will chat with you on Sunday on the Rundown and next Tuesday on the show.
Right on. Thanks, Jason.
It's Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Fountain Tire, of course. Hey, road trips, job sites, daily commutes, no matter where you drive, you need a team that helps you. And Fountain Tire does more than just tires. Their expert technicians can help you in alignments to brakes, shocks, and full mechanical services. Book your appointment, fountaintire.com.
Game day, the Edmonton Oilers back in action. Game 2 against the Kings down in Los Angeles. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson gets going at 6. For the Oilers, Evander Kane and John Klinberg drawing into the lineup. Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner come out. Stuart Skinner will get the start between the pipes. Elsewhere in the playoffs, we got the Stars and Avs in Game 3 of their series, currently tied at a game apiece. And at 5 o'clock, the Capitals trying to take a 2-0 series lead over the Canadiens out in Washington. In the association, 3 games tonight, starting at 5. Celtics host the Magic, the Heat in Cleveland, and the Warriors taking on the Rockets. Boston, Cleveland, and Golden State lead that third series 1-9. In the majors, you got the Jays in Houston taking on the Astros. First pitch set for 5:40. Earlier today was the Braves over the Cards 4-1. Marlins losing to the Reds 5-2. Yankees over the Guardians 5-1. In extras, the Mets down the Phillies 4-3, and the Tigers blank the Padres 6-0. WHL Game 7, Hitman and Hurricanes in Calgary tonight. Puck drop at 7. The winner of this one will take on Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers, who have a record of 8-1 in the playoffs so far. In the AJ League Final, Calgary can end it tonight in Grand Prairie. Puck drop set for 7 p.m. And in the BCHL, the Crusaders looking to stay alive as they host Brooks. Bandits leading that series 3-0. That gets going at 7 o'clock out in the park. And for the PWHL, Vancouver announced as the 7th franchise and first expansion franchise. They will play in the 2025-26 season, which is expected to begin in November. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Tyler Yaremchuk of Oilers Nation and take a look around the NBA playoffs. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup.
And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal.
My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Mr. Rooter hits the link.
So I tell the guy it's leaking because you have a hole in one.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you have a better chance of hitting the green with a crescent wrench, you bum.
Oh, boy. It's my rival, Mr. Plunger.
You swing a club like you plumb. Lousy.
Lousy, eh? Hey, Mr. Plunger, there's a clog down there that even you could fix.
For a plumber you can trust, call Mr. Rooter.
It's playoff time. Let's go. From pre- and post-game shows to analysis from Kevin, Lokeside, and Jason. This is going to be a fun run. For all things hockey, lock it in. To Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
In 1973, deep in the basement of an Edmonton family home, an elite team of specialized forces came together to form Action Electrical.
Action Electrical Divisions, assemble!
Projects team reporting.
Service team reporting.
Testing team reporting.
Energy team reporting.
Supercharged with skills in their electrical fields and grounded by strong family values. Facing an electrical menace? Call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
If you or someone you care for are injured in a motor vehicle accident, please listen up. I'm Grant Fedoruk from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and let me proudly say that we won't be the place your insurer tells you to go. We won't be the place because we don't sign agreements with the insurance company. We don't work for them, we work for you. We do want to be the place that your friends, family, and other medically trained professionals send you. So if your insurance company says that you have to see their therapist, you should know that's not true. You have the right to choose where you go, and we hope you choose us. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Mission Allen Auctions public unreserved equipment auction is Friday at 9 a.m. featuring backhoes, crawler dozers, excavators, mini excavators, graders, platform lifts, skid steers, snorkel lift, drum packers, turf mowers, wheel loaders, plus commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features, including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Allen Auctions public unreserved equipment auctions is Friday at 9 a.m. A complete dispersal of R. Badkey Oilfield Limited, including 2020 Jerry Tri Lowboy and Gincor Tri Step Deck, 2021 Wren and 2018 Doper Tri End Dumps. Info at maauctions.com.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.310, welcome back. It is game day. Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. alberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website. Hey, it's your one-stop shop for everything. If you like lotteries, casinos, live dealers, game betting, and all, they have it at playalberta.ca. I'm Jason Gregor, live with Connor Halley, coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, where you can get in, watch a game tonight. The Oilers, of course, taking on the LA Kings. Evander Kane is in. Jeff Skinner is out. John Klingberg is in. Josh Brown is out. Those are the lineup changes for the Oilers. Now, their line changes. Draisaitl, McDavid, Perry will start the game together. Hyman, Nugent, Hopkins, Kane, Frederick, Henrik, and Connor Brown. And then Podkolzin, Arvidsson, and Matthias Janmark. On defense, you got the pairings were Nurse, and Bouchard, along with Kulak and Emerson, and Wallman and Klingberg. Wow. Again, what they start with, I got to believe it to see it. I'm not sold that we're going to see those. Like, is Emerson and Klinger going to play that many minutes? I don't. I got to see it, man. Like, I know that Klingberg people are like, oh yeah, he's better than Brown. Okay, but what's that mean? Do I think that John Klingberg performed great in the regular season? I did not. I don't know if it didn't look great with the speed and lots of other things. So I'm not sold that that's, this massive upgrade. I hope I'm wrong. Now, maybe Klingberg, he's had all his time off. He feels better. He's been working hard and training. Maybe it's better, but I'm reserving too high of excitement on Klingberg. I don't know where you come out, but that's kind of where I come out on this one for sure. Now, let's get to the oil report, brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. Stop in, go see Jordy and the gang down at Volvo Cars Edmonton, where you can lease or finance 2025 XC60, XC90. You get interest rates from 1.49 to 1.99% and save $3,000 to $5,000. Some great deals at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. Evander Kane is getting back into the lineup, and Kane just talks about obviously pretty excited to get back in for the first time in over 10 months.
Yeah, it's been obviously a long time since I last played a game, and nice to get in and get an opportunity to contribute.
Now, what's going to be the toughest part after this long of a layoff?
I don't know. I'm not really thinking about that at all. Just thinking about what I'm going to do to try to help the team win, and not really think it's my first game. It's the playoffs. It's game 2. We're down 1-0 in the series, so the thinking is not going to help me.
So and it's probably, and that's fair, right? Like, don't think. What about the emotions? Like, how jazzed up are you? It's been this long since you played.
I don't know. I think right now it's pretty mellow. Probably when you get into the game and go out for warm up, and come into this hostile environment, be a little more excited and ready to go.
Now, head coach Chris Knobloch on Klingberg, and is he expecting Klingberg to play more than Brown did in game 1?
Absolutely. He's played, he's been out for several weeks right now, but a guy that's had a long NHL career, a lot of playoff games. He can handle the pressure on the moment. Certainly we're going to feel that he's going to be playing more than that, especially if we're trailing in a game. He can give us some offense also, but in all-around situations, we would like our 6 guys playing a little bit more, and I'm not sure where his minutes are going to end up being, but I would expect his to be a little more than Josh's the other night.
Well, yeah, you would think so. He only played 454, so not like he could play 6 minutes tonight, and it would still be more than Josh Brown. So we'll see. I don't, Klingberg, when he was held, man, he was a force for Dallas in the Stanley Cup Finals when they went all the way to the Cup. He was amazing, but that's 5 years ago now, and he's obviously had the surgery, and he didn't look like he was overly mobile, but maybe he just needed more time. We'll see. He's clearly an upgrade on puck moving, no question. Now, he's not going to kill penalties. He's not going to be physical. He's not overly strong, but he can move the puck. You know what? If you want quick plays out of the zone, great. How's his defending going to be? How's he going to be off of the rush? How's he going to be on battles in the corner? That's what I'm going to be looking at. So I'm like, if I had to put a line on, like, is Klingberg going to play more than 11 minutes? Connor Halley, do you think he plays more than 11 minutes?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say close, but not over.
That's kind of where I'm at. I could be wrong, but I still think their big four is likely going to play the most for sure. Knobloch also just shared his thoughts on Kane playing with Hyman and Nugent Hopkins and why that's a good fit for him to start.
I think Evander's to be impactful, being in a position to score goals. I think Ryan's a good playmaker. You saw it with numerous times throughout the year when he moved to center, playing with whether it was Arvidsson, Podkolzin, Brown, whoever it was, being able to dish and make some nice plays, but also having the reliability of, if they're going to be playing significant minutes, Ryan's a very reliable defensive-minded player that can cover up. He'll be playing against other teams' top lines. So I think that's important also. But I think it's we're optimistic that Evander can play well and contribute. And the best way to do that is playing a significant role.
Wow, yeah, because there's really not much risk of re-aggravate. This isn't a guy who just got hurt, recently. He's been rehabbing for a long time. So, and Kane talked about it. He is pain free, and he's ready to roll. Obviously, timing might be a factor. We'll see, but your adrenaline for the first few games, I think, is always a big benefit. And lastly, Jeff Skinner. Why was he the guy who drew the short straw and came out of the lineup?
About roles and responsibilities. We only need so many guys to be on the power play. We only need so many guys to play top six with skilled positions. We need guys to be able to kill penalties. Jeff doesn't kill penalties, so there's nothing against Jeff's game the other night. It was just we are putting in a banner tonight. We had to take somebody out, and everyone's got a role.
Well, there you have it. So you don't have to like it, and I'm not surprised, really. I don't know if anybody's that surprised that it's Jeff Skinner after, who were the options? I think it was Jeff Skinner and Podkolzin, and I guess maybe Arvidsson, but then it's a right shot, and now you're going to have a left winger. Skinner doesn't play the right side. Podkolzin doesn't play the right side. Kane definitely doesn't play the right side. So I'm sure that's a factor in it a little bit here as well. So, and just, hey, everybody has their own viewpoint on certain players. It doesn't matter who it is. NHL coaches, one NHL coach is going to like a guy more than another NHL coach, right? Other fans will like this player more than they like that player. It just happens. And I think I watched closely, and I counted it because I know the one thing, because he talked about it earlier in the season, Knobloch, was when Skinner doesn't move the puck quick enough. And there was multiple instances where Skinner was coming out of the zone, didn't move the puck, got caught from behind, didn't dump it in, and the play died right there. And I'm like, man, that happens. I know that's something the coach doesn't like. And the truth is, like in any analysis person, when you see something you don't like, it resonates more. It just doesn't. It's just human nature. You can try to block it out. I think it does. And so when I saw that a few times, I'm like, oof, that might cost him. That might cost him. So we'll see where it goes from here for the Oilers. But hey, they just need a win. I don't think the players don't care who's in the lineup ultimately, right? They can't decide it. The coach puts them in, and we'll see where they go. 3:20. We'll return. Your M Truck will join us next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. You can text us 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 in our inbox, coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th, your place to watch the game tonight. Great specials on beer and cocktails, 60-cent wings. Stop in OTR, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Is it Riverside Motorsports?
No. It's Riverside Motorsports. Over 55 years in business, and people still get it wrong.
Guess it's time to get it right.
Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
The Alzheimer's Face-Off, presented by Christensen Communities Limited, hits the ice this Friday to Sunday. Don't miss the Champions Luncheon on Friday, April 25th at the Edmonton Convention Center. Tables are on sale now. This year's event is hosted by accomplished sports journalist and author Scott Morrison and features the legendary locker room tales of Mike Keenan. Iron Mike grew from a highly respected NHL player to one of the most passionate coaches in hockey history. For more information or to purchase your Champions Luncheon table, visit alzheimersfaceoff.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker, and join us for the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Cross Mitsubishi on 34th Ave and 96th Street.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle,
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Use promo code Gregor and get 20% off your order all day, every day. That's promo code Gregor before entering your order at papajohns.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.323. Welcome back as we inch closer, just under 5 hours from puck drop, as you saw on Monday night. I know where people are like, hey, my son's like, Dad, the game says it starts today. What's going on? I'm like, buddy, that's just the broadcast. Don't worry. We got like 15, 20 minutes. So, what was puck drop? I think closer to 8:20. It's likely what it's going to be. So just under 5 hours for now. So you got lots of time. Make your way home. Lots of time to get here to OTR. You can watch the early games if you wish, and kind of go from there. So also this just coming down. Wow, the Rangers agreed to a multi-year extension with Chris Drury. I guess they're just doubling down and saying, hey, our management team, non-issue. Even though we created the chaos and the drama, it's what we wanted. Oh, that's an interesting one. So the coach gets fired. The GM gets an extension. Huh. Let's see. Let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings through Action Electrical. Go to actionelectrical.net and they can walk you through all the process to ensure that you're getting the maximum savings you can, especially for business owners. If you're looking to get solar on your business, actionelectrical.net. As we welcome in Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff. And Ty, the lineups are in, and we know that Kane is in. He'll start with the Hyman and Nugent Hopkins. Corey Perry's going to start with Draisaitl, McDavid. You got Henrique and Brown and Frederick, and then Janmark's the fourth line center with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. On paper, it's a pretty good lineup, no question. Now you bring in Kane. I guess I'll start with, do you like the decision to load up the top line to try to get a lead?
Yeah, I actually don't dislike it. It's kind of weird. Like, usually I am pretty against going supernova or whatever you want to call it. I've also this year been very against their treatment of Jeff Skinner. I felt like at times he hasn't been given and put in place or opportunities to succeed. But tonight it's like, I think sitting Jeff Skinner is the right call. And I think putting McDavid and Draisaitl together is also the right call. One thing that I'm a little bit interested in is how much we actually see these exact line combinations. Like Corey Perry with McDavid and Draisaitl, it was 100% offensive zone starts for them in game one when they did play together. I think it was about 4 shifts. So are they going to trust Corey Perry with D zone starts, or do we see something where like Arvidsson's up on that line when they start in the D zone, or is Draisaitl centering Podkolzin and Arvidsson a little bit? Like, I wonder if Chris Knobloch's just going to have a whole bunch of different combinations. I believe he had 8 different trios of players, like different combos, play at least 90 seconds together at 5-on-5 in game one. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we see more of that in game 2.
Yeah, well, Perry definitely can't play all of the minutes that Draisaitl and McDavid do. That's obvious. We know that Hyman usually plays with those guys coming out of the penalty kill. So I'm assuming now Edmonton would like not to take 5 penalties, I would think. But although we know 2 of them were from one over the glass penalty, so it's it's a little bit of a looks worse than it is as far as undisciplined play, etc. But what's your expectations for Kane, who has, he's not coming off an injury like that's recent. Like, this guy's just been rehabbing for a long time. He's been skating for close to 2 months with the team. What's your expectation on what he can add?
I'm expecting him to be super engaged and like he's shot out of a cannon. I think there should be a lot. We talked 7 days ago about where you put him in the lineup, and you made the point of like, hey, he should have all that adrenaline. Like, we should see our flying Evander Kane out of the gates. And, there still is a little part of me that goes, hasn't played hockey in 10 months. What are the boots going to be like? But the more it's gone on, the more I'm choosing to believe your line of thinking. I think he's just going to be fired up. He's going to be a wrecking ball out there. I think we'll see a couple of big hits. I think we'll see a guy who's eager to maybe get into some scrums and really get the juices flowing even more. And hopefully we get a decent amount of offensive production. I'm not saying like 3, whatever. I'm not saying goals. I'm just saying like pucks to the net, convert or get some good chances. Like, I'm really excited to see what we get from Evander Kane. And I think, again, I'm not someone who watches every practice or anything like that. I think Chris Knobloch putting him up in the top 6 is probably a sign that Knobloch really likes what he's been seeing from him during the practices.
Yeah, or just the fact that, it's not what he's seeing from Podkolzin, who doesn't finish, and, maybe Frederick's not there yet. So he's like, hey, let's start it. Let's give it a chance. And we'll see. Which Oiler team are we going to see? The Jekyll from the first 38 minutes, or the team that looked pretty good in the last 22? Or a combination of both?
I think we'll see them come out of the gates a little bit better. I mean, you've run the stat a bunch of times, I'm sure. Like, they don't do well in game ones for whatever reason, but I also think they have a tendency to bounce back pretty well in a lot of these series too. So I think we're going to see a team that comes out of the gates really, really hungry. There won't be that sort of like awkward perimeter feeling out period that there was in game one. I just think they're going to be totally dialed in. I'm honestly expecting a dominant performance tonight from the Edmonton Oilers. I think they usually respond pretty well in these situations. And yeah, I think what we saw in the final 20 minutes is a little bit more indicative of how this series is going to go than what we saw in the first 40. I know Drew Doughty kind of said like, hey, if we play like we do in the first 40 minutes, we're not going to have any problems, or whatever his direct quote was. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but I looked more at that first 40 as the Oilers not looking like themselves than I did the Kings looking dominant. There was definitely some good stuff from the LA Kings, but still, I just think if both teams are at their A level, this series greatly favors the Oilers, and I think Edmonton's going to have their A level tonight.
Yeah, it was interesting. We had Mike Rupp on the show in the first hour, and Rupp says, "Hey, I love Drew Doughty." He goes, and Rupper felt like he thought it was maybe LA still talking themselves into that they're better than Edmonton because, and Edmonton has owned them for 3 years in the playoffs, and, they came back. And really, we should say Edmonton, but a big part of it's McDavid and Draisaitl. They've had no answer to them. McDavid has 40 points in 19 games. Draisaitl has 18 goals in 19 games against the Kings. Like, they haven't had a way to shut them down. And so, I don't know, now I don't love loading them up. I understand it. And if it's for one game, fine. But I don't know if you can win the whole series with them on the same line. And, if the coach is changing from one game to the next, I have no problem with it. That's what coaching is. You adapt from game to game. So, you know what, knock your socks off. I'm fine with it. But I'm going to be kind of interested to see, because McDavid's line got outscored 2-0 against Danault in the 8 minutes they played head-to-head. And the Danault's line is going to go up against it.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to judge the loading them up part too much until we see how Knobloch actually handles the game. Like, if they go out, and I guess this is maybe what you're getting at, like, if they go out and score twice in the first period, I wonder if in the second period we don't see Draisaitl back with Arvidsson and Podkolzin, and they go back to running lines. And also, when you're back on home ice, like, do you feel the need to load them up? Or when you're picking your matchups, do you go with them on separate lines for the most part? But I also just think, this team's kind of done this a lot this year. They mix and match their lines throughout a game. They have everyone's almost kind of played with everyone, with the exception of Frederic and Evander Kane, I suppose, because they were injured. So yeah, I'm reserving judgment on this lineup till I see how Chris Knobloch actually deploys it, because I don't wonder if part of this is just a bit of a curveball to the LA Kings.
That could be. Well, it's like the defense pairs. Nurse and Bouchard are together. They had Kulak and Emerson, and they had Wallman and Klingberg skating together. It's lefty-righty, so I get it on paper, and I understand it all. But I think at the end of the game, and we've seen it all year long, right? Even when they had, 6 defense, when we were playing Nurse and Kulak a lot together, I still think you're going to have 4 defensemen playing the majority of the minutes.
Yep, I agree. I don't think we'll see a lot. I heard the segment before I was on. You guys were talking about over/under. I think it was 11 minutes for Klingberg. If Play Alberta's offering that, I'm emptying the clip on the under. I see no world, unless it's a blowout, so they're resting guys in the third period and Klingberg plays like 7 minutes in the third. I see no way John Klingberg gets into the double digits, especially in 5-on-5 ice time, and he doesn't kill penalties like Josh Brown does, so I don't think they're going to use him there either. What I do find interesting is people who are sitting there talking about how it's such a big advantage for LA that the Oilers only have 4 defensemen. Jordan Spence played 6 minutes and 40 seconds at 5-on-5 the other day, and Brandt Clark barely got to 10 minutes. Like, the Kings are almost doing the exact same thing, and they're the home team. They could pick matchups easier if they wanted to. So it's kind of interesting to see these two teams basically playing 4.5, 5 defensemen.
Yeah, I tweeted that out about 3 hours ago, that exact thing, because the 5th and 6th defensemen in LA were on the ice combined for 1809, and the Oilers' 5th and 6th defensemen were 1844. So Edmonton's 4th guy actually played a little bit more than the LA guys, funny enough. So now Edmonton's defense was on the ice slightly more overall, because LA doesn't have a defenseman on the power play for that first unit, right? And they had 5 power plays, so that changes it. But Doughty, Anderson, Emerson, and Edmondson, and Gavrikov, they played basically the same amount of minutes as Bouchard, Nurse, Kulak, and Wallman, right? It was virtually identical. So, and I think that's what we're going to see from both. Like, you're right, they're at home, and Spence only played 6:40. And Clark played 11:29. And the Kings were leading that game, Tyler, for long stretches of 2-0, 3-0, and 4-0. And then even 4-1, 4-2. Like they led for 56 minutes of the game. It was only tied for the first, 2:45 plus, unfortunately for the Oilers, about 35 seconds between McDavid tying the game and then Danault scoring the game winner. And they still only played that, and they only played 3 lines. Their 4th line played less than 4 minutes, just under, between the 3 of them. And I'm curious if they're going to do that all series, it will benefit Edmonton later on in the series if you're only going to go 3 lines up front.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say next, was the Turcotte, Hellenius, Malott line. They combined for like 11 or 12 minutes time on ice in that game. And again, great point. They were up 4-0. Like, if you weren't trusting your 4th line in that scenario, that shows A, I guess, how little you trust them. B, that you were worried about an Oilers comeback, because you at no point wanted to risk that 4th line being out there. And what's going to happen when this series shifts back to Edmonton and all of a sudden the Oilers have the last change? Like, you can't drop those minutes, can you? Like, you can't play less than 3.5, 4 minutes in a hockey game, although maybe we'll see it. But yeah, three lines for the LA Kings, basically 2 pairings, 2.5 pairings, if you want to call it that. There are so many signs from that game one, and it's weird because the Oilers lost, but I look at a lot of things and go, man, the LA Kings should not be getting too high on themselves right now. I don't think that game one was some sort of sign that the Kings are, a team that's more prepared to go up against the Oilers. I had Bruce Kurlock, who writes a lot for us at the site. I think he's a wicked smart guy. He was on and said, man, if the Oilers would have won that game yesterday, he would have had no problem betting or predicting the Oilers to finish this off in 5 games, and I'm with him.
Yeah, but they didn't win.
Nope.
And they played brutal for 38 minutes. And the one thing about the Oilers, they still allowed 14 high danger chances in that game. Like there's a lot that they got to clean up tonight.
Yeah, they do totally. Like their play on the transition, I didn't think was particularly good. I know there were those couple of Bouchard clips that obviously have people fired up, but I felt like they struggled getting pucks out of their own end at times. Even that first goal, the Quinton Byfield, or sorry, the second goal, the Quinton Byfield goal, like they were scrambly before that. Everyone wanted to jump down Stuart Skinner's throat. I thought there was a bunch of stuff that went wrong before that goal. So the Oilers have a lot to clean up. But again, they have a lot to clean up, and they're coming off a game where they lost by 1 goal. Darcy Kemper, I found it funny. I saw someone go, you can't win with 800 goaltending in this league. And it's like, man, LA just won with 800 goaltending. Kemper had the same save percentage as Skinner, which again, another sign for the Oilers. Darcy Kemper's beatable.
Well, the Oilers have shown that they can beat any goalie who wears the LA colors. And, I think psychologically that could be something too, if they can have a big game against them. And LA's yet to win the low scoring game in the 3 years of this series. The 1-0, 2-1, 2-0 games have gone Edmonton's way. And now I guess the good news for LA is they're like, hey, when we score lots, we can win. So I think Edmonton, as much as we talk about LA wants to be, limit McDavid, which is really hard to do, the Oilers are going to have to be better defensively. And I think they got to try to take something away from that 5-on-3, even though LA still, obviously it's a 5-on-3, so they had good puck movements, they had some good shot blocks, but the Oilers penalty kill has to do something to disrupt LA's power play, because it looked good on every power play, whereas the Oilers' power play barely had a pulse. And I know it was only 2 chances, but they never have 1 great scoring chance.
Yeah, and again, special teams are obviously going to be a big factor. They've been a massive factor the last number of seasons, especially last year when Edmonton just kind of had their way with them. So for the Oilers, stay out of the box. But as you said, 2 of those 5 penalties were kind of just on the one play. So if Knobloch doesn't challenge and all that, but I guess that is also 2 of the opportunities the Kings didn't end up scoring on. But Oilers have to do a much better job staying disciplined, staying out of the box. Like the Jake Wallman one, I didn't love the call because I felt like Danault snapped his head back and was maybe flopping around a little bit. But if you're Wallman, maybe it was just the moment for him, fired up in his first playoff game. But like a good veteran there knows to just, if you put that cross check in the chest, you're not getting called on it. If you go above the chest there, that's when you could potentially run into issues, or you give the refs a reason to call it. So the Oilers got to be more disciplined. They got to be more disciplined in terms of their D zone play. But again, I've seen enough from this team to think that they can absolutely clean it up.
Ty, it should be a hell of a game tonight. Oilers, hey, when you look at the numbers, this is not a must-win game for Edmonton, but it's a very important game because teams who go up 2-0 in a series win it 88% of the time. And I know the Oilers came back against the Sharks in 17, and yes, you can do it, but I don't think you want to flirt with that danger. This is an important game for the Oilers tonight.
Yeah, like you're never, the old saying, you're never truly in trouble till you lose at home. But when you don't have home ice advantage, if you lose both on the road, you're chasing for the rest of the series. And that's just not a spot the Oilers are going to want to put themselves in. So I agree. Not technically a must win, but it's about as close as you could get to me using those words.
Enjoy the game, buddy. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Greg. Thanks.
Let's Tyler Remchuk from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff was in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Now, speaking of Action Electrical, here comes the sun. So today, it's very easy. It's kind of like a cross promotion of ourselves for your chance to qualify and win a $15,000 turnkey solar system for your home. Right. So how we'll do it is after 4 o'clock, you can text in. So we're going to put a code word up on. So all you got to do is Google the Oilers Nation YouTube, and you'll see, or you go on Twitter, you'll see it there, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, and you'll see the code word because it's going to stay up now for the next 20 minutes. Okay. The code word will be there the whole time. And you get, just remember the code word. When we ask for the code word after 4 o'clock, you text it in with your name. Okay, this is very easy for anybody. And oh, by the way, when you go to the YouTube page and see it, just click the like button for fun. You'll make Connor Halley's day. Get the thumbs up, and it's probably some good karma for you. Might get you in a better chance to win. So it's very simple. Go find the code word at Oilers Nation YouTube right now. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
DJ Booster coming at you live with warmer weather, longer days, and dropping 2 new booster mixes for April from Booster Juice. Pucker up, party people! The Zesty Berry Booster Mixer features raspberry and lemon in perfect harmony. Then turn it all the way up with Mango Booster Mixer with delicious mango and pineapple notes.
Mix it up with the new Booster Mixers at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999. Download the Booster Rewards app and order one today.
When St. Albert Dodge gets a deal, you get a deal. That's how it works. And right now, they've made a special purchase of new 2024 Ram Heavy Duty 2500 and 3500 model trucks. These are Cummins diesel models with an exclusive offer that you can only get at St. Albert Dodge. What's the deal? A no-charge Cummins engine option, which works out to $9,450 in savings for you. Over 35 available. Get yours now and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Spring, where everything is coming up roses, except for GS Construction. We're heading underground, and we couldn't be happier. Spring is always a busy time of year for everyone trying to get out there and do some work. Well, GS Construction agrees, and we also agree that we just might need some help. So if you're looking to work and join a group where safety, teamwork, and continuous improvement have been at our core since 1974, send us a resume. Come work with us this spring. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Drought Fighter and Disease Control are both included with every Green Drop program at no extra cost. Since 1979, Green Drop has been making beautiful weed-free lawns guaranteed. Book today.
Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Visit greendrop.com.
At Vision Credit Union, we've been around a long time. In fact, we've been serving rural Alberta communities for 75 years. We launched in 1950 with $128, 21 members, and a mission to help our communities. It's still our mission today. That's why we return 75% of Vision's profits to members, offer full-service banking in underserved rural communities, and prioritize contributing to charitable causes in our hometowns. We're here for good. VisionCU.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at Cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.346. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Remember, you can go see our Facebook, YouTube page, and you can see the code word right there. It's pretty simple, and then you'll have it. And when we ask for it, you'll have a chance to qualify and win a $15,000 home solar system. Or you could gift it to someone. So you'll win it for yourself, or you can gift it. Now, let's get to our basketball report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit because you know it's going to get warm. And the last thing you want is all that sweat box. You know, you're dying. Oh, I got to get AC. Well, plan ahead. Do it now at legacyheating.ca. Host of the basketball show, Sundays noon to 2 on Sports 1440. Paul Sir joins us. Paul, how you doing?
Doing great, and I didn't know I had expanded to Sundays too, so that's great. Now we're doing 2 days a week.
Did I say Sunday? Oh, even better. Yeah.
No, I had to tease you, Jason.
Yeah. Well, let's start first of all. Pretty big news in the local basketball community, as a gentleman from Ross Shep is now the general manager of the Atlanta Hawks in Onzi Soleil.
It is big news, and we followed his career, and it sort of appeared out of nowhere a few years ago that Onsi had gotten into the NBA, and then you hear, oh, he's with Golden State, and he's in upper management now, and then Atlanta, and he's assistant GM, and then with letting the GM go, he now steps in. Now, it may not be permanent. He may end up being an assistant, a version of the assistant GM again, maybe, because they're going to go through a hiring process. But it's an incredible rise. And get this, Jason, about Ross Shep. So from Ross Shep, under Coach Dave Youngs, Onsi is the GM of Atlanta. Jermaine Buckner is the one of the lead assistant coaches with the Charlotte Hornets. And Steve Sir, top-ranked 3x3 player in the world, national team coach for Mongolia. So, I mean, Ross Shep produces some amazing people doing some amazing things.
Hey, man, they're going to miss him there. Dave Youngs did an unbelievable job in that program, and really just in basketball in the community for a long, long time. Like when, you talk to guys and you ask them of their thoughts on Dave Youngs, and my goodness, it's never ending, the glowing response you'll get from people. So, and Dave would be the first. Oh, it's not me, but yeah, he'll never say it. So everybody else can say it for him. He did a remarkable job for a long, long time. Probably underappreciated, if we're being honest. His time there.
Well, and I have to throw this out about Dave Youngs. When we moved to Edmonton in 1988, one of the first things I wanted to do was to seek out college basketball. And so we went over and watched the Golden Bears play. And the backcourt then of Sean Chernoff and Dave Youngs was as fun a backcourt as I've ever seen, not just in Edmonton, but almost anywhere. There's a great line in the Library Cop episode on Seinfeld of "I'm going to be on you like a pit bull on a poodle." And that was Dave Youngs on defense. He was ferocious on defense and transferred into coaching so effectively, still fiery and emotional, but taught the game extremely well. His players love him. And of course, that's the greatest tribute that any coach can have, is that your players love you. But he touched students' lives, everyone's lives, and he reinvents what modesty means. To your point, Jason, Dave's a real special individual.
Yeah, he totally is. Now, Paul, let's get to the NBA playoffs. And man, OKC. I know it's only the first round, but they are exactly as we expected. That's two pretty dominant performances from them over a Memphis team who won 48 games in the regular season, and right now they don't even look close.
Looks like high school and junior high teams playing, doesn't it? Like they're just so overmatched. Of course, you always wonder now what will it be like when they're at home. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I think OKC, they're healthy. They're playing at the highest level that they played all year in a 67-win year. Yeah, they're just rolling Memphis right now. And of course, Memphis has that disadvantage of that one of two bizarre coaching firings right near the end of the season. But be that as it may, it's more OKC than anything related to Memphis.
Yeah. Oh, no. Like they are dominant, very dominant. Indiana. Now, I know Milwaukee's been banged up, so that plays a part in it for sure, but the Pacers have looked really good, Paul. Your Pacers looking pretty good.
Pacers are playing well. You know, they're a weird team from this standpoint. There was a survey recently by The Athletic and the New York Times of NBA players. They surveyed 130 NBA players. One of the many questions they asked was, who's the most overrated player in the NBA? And the overwhelming vote was Tyrese Halliburton, the point guard from Indiana. I find that kind of a chuckle that one player would be singled out like that. But Halliburton really is the engine that makes this very deep team go. Two Canadians are highly impactful in Ryan Nembhard and Mathurin at the forward spot. It's their depth, but they have one thing that a lot of teams that have a lot of depth but don't have necessarily a go-to player and that is they really do have two or three guys that are go-to players. Pascal Siakam can be that guy you get the ball to make a play in the key moments in a game when you just absolutely need somebody to get something done. And of course, Halliburton's another one. And so, yeah, they're playing really well. Now, Milwaukee, the big question is, Lillard is now back after his blood clot issues. Only has one game under his belt. They're going back to Milwaukee. Let's see if he can be a difference maker and make this at least a competitive series.
What about Minnesota and LA? It was one game. Minnesota looked great, but the Lakers came back. Is that just a one-game knock, or did you see anything in game one and even game two that says, hey, maybe Minnesota can give them a run?
Well, I think Minnesota can definitely give them a run. I think you saw the tale of two. You saw yin and yang working. Minnesota is not a 21 three-pointer for 42 attempts like they were in game one. I mean, they just had one of those nights. You saw not a more realistic, but the absolute swing on that, 5 for 25 in game two. Lakers obviously regrouped. They got their act together. They came out ready to go, and they maintained a comfortable lead throughout the whole game. So we've had a couple of heavyweights in games both under 100 points that are not, it's a slugfest. So going back to Minnesota now, we'll see. Can Minnesota go toe-to-toe with these guys? Do they have any answer at all for Luka? Probably not, but it's what they do with their other players that's going to be interesting. So I still think this game could go 6, maybe 7, still favoring the Lakers, of course, but got to give the Timberwolves credit. They came out, they stole one in LA. Now they're back in Minnesota, and they're going to have they have a fighting chance. I don't look at this as a runaway series. Certainly nothing like Oklahoma City.
Well, yeah, no, that's and that was expected. I don't think many of us thought that was going to be a close series from the get-go. The Golden State Warriors have come on. They added Jimmy Butler, and they've been pretty good down the stretch. And Houston they had a really good record, Paul. They started great, but if you really look at the second half of the season, they kind of just, held on. They didn't, obviously OKC had huge separation, and then Houston was one of like those 6 teams that are all separated by 4 wins, right? Like there's really, I don't even know if I can call it that much of an upset. Like, yes, Golden State's on the road, but it's 4 fewer wins. We're not talking a massive difference. And, I think Golden State, when you add in Butler, like I picked them to win this series. What do you make of this matchup? And what did you see in game one that you like for Golden State? Or maybe you think Houston could rebound from?
I like Golden State. Their record since Butler arrived is amazing. I think it's something like 25-7. They turned around a dismal season and turned it into a tremendous run down the stretch, and they really have gelled together. It didn't only rejuvenate Steph Curry, it also rejuvenated Draymond Green. He returned to form as the elite, one of the elite, and maybe the elite defender in the NBA. So now you've got a Golden State team that's hitting on all cylinders. They're getting contributions from role players, but what you have to love is the blend of offensive talents of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Total opposites. Curry, he made 5 threes in the first game. If you watch the 5 threes, they were all ridiculous.
Yeah.
Contested, deep, under pressure shots on the move, incredible shots. And then you have Butler just, putting the hard hat on, such a workman, and scoring inside, outside, mid-range, around the rim, and defending so well alongside Draymond Green. Since they picked up Butler, I believe they're the top-ranked defensive team in the league with Jimmy Butler. So they're not only better offensively, they're much better defensively as well. I really like them. And to your point about Houston had a really nice, surprisingly nice season. I don't think they can do more than take 1, maybe 2 from Golden State.
And probably the series that's going to be the best is the Denver series. It's it's 2 close games, them and the Clippers. Both teams are very good. From what you've seen through 2 games, is it this is just a 7-gamer? It's going to come down to who has the best game 7, or is there something now that you've watched 2 games that you feel favors one team over the other?
No, I think it's just it looks right now like it would be that series that you just described, Jason. It should be a 7-game series coming down to the wire because these teams really they are evenly matched with offsetting strengths. What's impressive about the LA Clippers, like Kawhi Leonard had a game. Like that was a game that's an all-time great NBA game in playoffs. Like that was an unbelievable performance by Butler. But Harden looks really good through 2 games. Zubac bothers Jokic. Doesn't stop him, but he really bothers Jokic. Jokic has to work so much harder than I've seen him work all year long. Zubac just seems to have a feel and a sense for what the Joker wants to do, and he makes him uncomfortable trying to do it. So I think they're really evenly matched. I agree with you, of a very strong first round. Like this is an exceptional first round with some real intriguing matchups. That typically I don't think happens like this, but of all of them, this is the premier series. And by the way, Jason, one noticeable difference in the NBA playoffs now is the culmination of a 2-year league-wide effort to let the defense become more physical. We're seeing games now that are much more physical than we were seeing 2 and 3 years ago. And boy, does it make for better basketball to see guys out there banging and not every touch foul being called. And that, I think, is part of the intrigue of the Denver LA Clippers series.
Paul, great stuff, man. We'll be tuning into the show on Saturday morning. Have a good one. And maybe Sunday for an extra show just for you.
Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you.
There you go. That's Paul Surf, host of the basketball show here every Saturday from noon until 2. Be sure to get to Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube page. You can see the code word because we're going to ask for it. Your chance to win and get in the qualify to win a $15,000 system courtesy of Action Electrical. Let's get to the Con Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Booster Juice. And try their 2 new booster mixers, the Zesty Berry Booster Mixer and the Bango Mango Booster Mixer. Download the Boosters Reward app and order one today, only at Booster Juice.
1440 update.
Game 2, Oilers Kings goes tonight from Los Angeles. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. for that one. Pre-game coverage here on Sports 1440 with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. We'll get going immediately following the Jason Gregor Show at 6. The Oilers will be adding Evander Kane and John Klingberg to the lineup, with Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner coming out. Stuart Skinner gets to start between the pipes. Elsewhere, Caps and Canadians meeting in Washington just after 5. Washington leads that series 1-0. And then it's Game 3 in Denver with the Avs taking on the Stars at 7:30. That series tied at a game apiece. In the association, we've got Celtics, Magic, Heat, Cavs, and Golden State taking on Houston. The Warriors, Cavaliers, and Celtics leading those series 1-0. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays taking on Houston once again. First pitch set for 5:40 earlier today. You had the Cards falling to the Braves 4-1. Reds over the Marlins 5-2. Yankees get past the Guardians 5-1. In extras, it was the Mets over the Phillies 4-3. And the Tigers shut out the Padres 6-0. Later tonight, Royals, Rockies, White Sox in Minnesota, Cubs host the Dodgers, Mariners up against the Red Sox, and the Nats taking on the Orioles. In the WHL this evening, we've got Game 7, Hitmen Hurricanes in Calgary. Puck drop 7 o'clock. Winner advances to take on Gavin McKenna and the Medicine Hat Tigers, who have a record of 8-1 in the playoffs so far. In the AJ League final, Calgary can end it tonight, leading 3-0 over Grand Prairie. Puck drop at 7. Also at 7, the Crusaders looking to stay alive as they host Brooks, and it's lead that series 3-0. Like I said, 7 o'clock puck drop out in the park. And from the PWHL, Vancouver announces the 7th franchise in league history. PWHL Vancouver will start play in the 2025-26 season, which is expected to begin in November. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, of course, it is your next chance to qualify for Here Comes the Sun. We'll ask 5 questions and be joined by former Oilers captain Kelly Buchberger. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
At Fountain Tire, our focus is taking care of your vehicle. Your focus? Saving up to 25% off select tires. Plus, getting up to a $120 mail-in rebate on a set of 4 select tires until April 26th. So we both win. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every playoff game for the Ridge Social Eatery postgame show. The Ridge is the new hotspot in St. Albert, and it's so good.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1949.
310, welcome back. It is game day.
Offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized
40 Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X. It is game day. It's game day. Sports 4.
Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Sports 1440, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The Gregor Show presented by Play.
WEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers. Edmonton.
3, welcome back as we inch closer. Just
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from
Connor
the
Halley,
brands
Sports
and
1440, Orders
legendary
Nation,
service.
YouTube,
Don't
Facebook,
sit on
X,
the bench.
Nation,
Get your account today at
40 Orders.
into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Truck Month is on now at GMC, and it's one
Happen
of the
order
best
one
times
today.
to get behind the wheel. Right now, get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models with a 13.4-inch diagonal center touchscreen, an available Duramax 6.6-liter turbo diesel V8 engine with 470 horsepower. Plus, the most trailering assistance technologies in its class. Sierra has some serious hauling power and is the only off-road ready HD. Truck Month is on now. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Tim's Smile Cookie is almost here, and every bite makes your community every bite better. Because 100% of proceeds are donated to local charities and community groups. Head to Tim's for Smile Cookies from April 28th to May 4th.
Another big goal for number one, Titan Supply. They're dominating this series. Looks like a clean sweep.
Spring cleanup is an easy win with Titan Supply. Not only can you trust them to lift, dig, and haul, but with their spring special on industrial brooms, cleaning grime, rocks, and dirt from parking lots, streets, and more is a breeze. Their service inspections help ensure you're safe and ready for the upcoming season. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Old Strathcona have special training dedicated to reducing the impact of cancer care before, during, and after your diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.407, welcome back. We are just over 4 hours away from puck drop from Game 2, the Oilers and the LA Kings. Welcome back. It's the Jason Gregor Show live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave on 118th Street, where it's a little bit of the calm before the storm right now. I see a few people coming in already, which is nice, but you can call OTR. They do have a few tables left if you want to reserve and get in. They were jam-packed. Actually, they did have one empty table on Monday, but other than that, it was good. You like to celebrate with lots of fellow Oiler fans. Who knows? Maybe even some King fans. Come down Jasper Ave 118th and enjoy it. We got lots more to discuss. The Oilers and the LA Kings. Of course, the Oilers, if you missed it, some lineup changes. Lineup juggling is going to happen. Kane is in. Klinberg is in. Jeff Skinner and Josh Brown come out. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry are going to start the game together. Kane's going to play with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Henrique's going to play with Connor Brown and Trent Frederick. Janmark scored his first goal. Janmark now has goals in consecutive games in the playoffs. Of course, scored in Game 7 against the Florida Panthers last year and opened up in Game 1 for the Oilers. So see if that keeps going with Arvidsson and Pod. Coles and Nurse with Bouchard. They have Kulak and Emerson, Wallman and Klingberg, but I don't know if we're going to see those pairings that long, to be honest. I think ultimately it's going to be the big four playing the most minutes on the blue line for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, it is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. $52 million tonight in the gold ball jackpot at Lotto 649, the OG of lotteries. PlayAlberta.ca. And it is just after 4 o'clock, so it's your turn now to get in on Here Comes the Sun. Fantastic giveaway. $15,000. And that's just the package to install. It doesn't include all the savings you're going to get over the years from this turnkey solar system for your home. This is a massive, massive package. Don't underestimate how much money it's going to save you or save someone you want to gift it to. We've had a few people who qualified, said, you know what, that's someone in their family who they're hoping to give it to, so it'll be your choice. Now, there are a few things that you need to officially get in and qualify. You need to be a homeowner. You need to reside in Edmonton and the surrounding area, 50K east, north, south, or west. You must have newer shingles, 12 years or newer. Now, if you have older and you win and then you replace them beforehand, no problem. Okay, but you need to be a homeowner because they're not going to put it on a house that isn't yours. That benefits the owner, not yourself. And obviously the travel and distance, so inside Edmonton. So I know we have people who left the Oilers fans and fans of the show who listen across the country. That's great, but we for this one we can't get to you, unfortunately. But if you went to Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, the Gregor Show, or on X or Instagram, follow me on Twitter, you will have seen the code word that has been up for the last 25 minutes. It is your turn now to text in the code word. Okay? It's very easy. Text in the code word to 833-401-1440. Include your name. So your name and the code word. It's pretty simple. The code word will stay up until 4:15. Okay? So you got a few minutes if you're just joining us, courtesy of Action Electrical, and then the code word is gone for the day. Probably never to be used again. You can't use the same code word again. Come on. That's just, it's blasphemous. Can't do that. So 833-401-1440. Text in the code word right now. Hey, Gregor, I'm curious your thoughts. Did you see the ESPN TV numbers? Not very good. Less than $1 million for any game. What do you make of that? Well, hockey is still a sport that has to grow in the United States. And now it's also important to mention that right now, the TV deal is weird in the U.S. So you'll have it nationally on ESPN, but then you'll also have it on the regional broadcast for some of them. Well, guess what? Like if you could watch the Oiler game on regional TV or on the national one, which one would you watch it? Most fans are going to watch it on the regional one because those are the broadcasters that are used to. They like them, right? Their familiarity matters to sports fans. So, and that's why ESPN has openly talked about, hey, you know what, to make this deal worth our while, and we want to have it so it's exclusive. The games are only on ours. I get it. It would be like, a playoff game. You could watch it on Sportsnet and you could watch it on TSN. Probably wouldn't be, the number on one is never going to be the same. So you'd have to take the ESPN numbers and you have to add them. Now, not every game, though, so I'd have to look at some. Now, any game that involves, the Canadian teams, obviously it's going to impact there's half your viewership isn't going to be watching on that channel. Right, for the most part. I guess there's some of you that maybe do you even get it? Con's like, can we even get it? I guess depending on, you probably could get some satellite package that allows you to watch it on ESPN.
Yeah, I would think there must be a way to do it. Now, is that only American viewers though? Like, would that?
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. I'm not even sure. Like, I've never seen ESPN. Like, I have a lot of the sports cable packages. Like, I don't have ESPN, so I don't even think it's available here.
Because you get the TNT game occasionally, right?
Yeah, TNT. You can get the TNT one, yes, but. Haven't seen ESPN. Now, in the regular season, I have the NHL package, which is actually a steal of a deal. It cost me like $200 for the whole year, and I get every game. So, for somebody like me, it's my job. So I like watching, and I like, hey, I want to watch this game tonight. I want to watch a team. Sometimes if the Oilers are playing another team coming in, I like to check in on a period just to see line combinations and different things like that. So it's good. But it shows you how far hockey has to grow in the United States. That's just a fact. Right? They got to keep growing it. And it's not just one, hey, we love the game, everybody's going to watch it. No. Some of you are like, I don't like the NBA. Why? Because I didn't grow up watching the NBA. It's hard to change your habits. Right? It's really difficult. And it's going to take a lot of work. And you got to you got to get more kids playing hockey, because if they play hockey, they're more enticed to want to watch it. It's just how it is. Not always, right? Like some kids will like to watch other sports even if they don't play it, right? For sure. Like my son loves watching the Jays. Now he plays baseball in the yard. He's never actually played organized baseball. He plays hockey and ball hockey and track and soccer and everything. But maybe one day he'll play it. So it doesn't mean you can't like it. But it's not like he also is a diehard and is watching every Jays game. So we'll see. Hey, Gregor, our biggest issue is with the coach. When you have a 5-on-3, you start with your best faceoff guy. Nuge lost every one of those faceoffs from Richie. Well, Richie, I did talk about that yesterday in the show, and I'm going to ask Knobloch about it. But I did put it out there, and I got the answer. So a 5-on-3, the odds, even when you have your best faceoff guy, of winning the faceoff cleanly and getting the puck out are pretty low. Right? It happens like 24, 26% of the time. So if you think that guys, you're like, okay, I could put Draisaitl out there. But if we don't win the draw, now I got Draisaitl out there. He might be out there for 2 minutes. or because you don't get a ton of chances 5-on-3 to clear the puck, right? Edmonton, I think LA on that 5-on-3, that was a full 2 minutes. What did they finally clear it out at? Like a minute 30, right? You had Nugent Hopkins, Brown, and Nurse on. Now, the other thing is, you could be upset about it, but that had no impact on the game. Right? They didn't score on that 5-on-3. Now, they scored on the first one, yes. But even on that first one, if you notice, Kopitar, he won it kind of, but because they had the extra guy, they had 2 extra guys on, then the puck's sitting there about foot, and guess who went and touches it? Then Kuzmenko taps it back to Kempe or to Fiala, goal. In an ideal world, you'd have a right shot center out there because Kopitar's on a strong side as a lefty. Nugent Hopkins is out there. But it is a question, trust me, I'm going to be asking Knobloch about it because I'm just curious on, what's your reasoning why you want Nugent Hopkins, who is your third best, fourth, I guess, behind McDavid, face-off guy, out in that 5-on-3. And probably because the odds will tell you the chances of winning that clean and icing it are pretty low. So we're going to play the odds that we think we're going to go with the other guy who's maybe a better pure penalty killer in that situation. And you play Draisaitl enough, so that probably has it. Now, maybe you could have went Henrique, who's a better face-off guy. Not necessarily as quick as Nuge, but there's got to be something to it. It's a fair question, but that's not the reason they lost the game. I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. Hey guys, the Kings power play and even their 5-on-5 is going for a high tips, kind of like what Chicago did in the bubble. Well, if you actually look at their power play, so Fiala, no, their power plays has been basically let's feed it to Fiala on the right side, especially on the 5-on-3. Fiala had 3 shots on net, 2 shots blocked. They only took 1 shot from the left side on the power play. All the others were Fiala on the 5-on-3. Then on their 5-on-4 power plays, they're still moving it around. They go to Kempe, and they are looking at 1 tip, but for the most part, they still like to wire. Kuzmenko becomes their main guy down low in the left corner, and he's a distributor, and he's moving for guys. So they had a little bit of tips, but I didn't see a ton of high tips for them on their power play overall like that. It's a play that's in their arsenal, but it's not their go-to. Hey, boys, I think Bouchard needs to know where they are in the game and what time it is. The Oilers just tie the game. He makes a bad pinch trying to keep the puck in. He better have Nurse and Wallman Kulak to play 30 minutes a night. I don't know if Bouchard held the line. He didn't pinch there on that play because Gavrikov knocked it down in the high slot, right? And then the puck goes towards the boards. Bouchard just stayed. He didn't back out. Right, it's a bang play. He didn't stay. You could argue maybe he should have backed out. But even if he backs out a bit, he's still back with Fogle. So if he's backed out anymore, he's still taking Fogle. He's not taking Deneau as the trailer either way. Right? Now, if you're saying maybe he has another foot, can he push Fogle out of the way? Maybe. I don't know about that. Like Bouchard's not Mr. Physical. So my bigger issues with Bouchard are on the 3rd and 4th goal. Because those are goals where the puck's directly on a stick, gets off his stick, it's directly to the Kings. They score within a few seconds. Those are the situations and hey, he's going to make a play every game because he has the puck a lot that you're not going to like. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's going to happen, right? Go watch Cale Makar. Go watch all the other guys who have the puck a lot. They're going to make mistakes. Now, it's where on the ice you make the mistake. You can make a mistake in the corner where it's not directly. You turn it up to Kempe. Now Kempe is wide open in the slot. That's awful. And then the 4th goal is you turn it over right into the slot, and Deneau is wide open walking down Main Street and rips it home. Right? That's different than turning it over, in the corner, and now there's a battle for it. Right? So turnovers will happen, but it's the old adage that I like to tell my son sometimes. Hey, when you're going to make mistakes in life, let's try to keep them 3, 4s, and 5s and not 9s and 10s, because the 9s and 10s can get you into a lot of trouble. 3, 4s, and 5s we can live with, we can learn from. And, at the same time, like the learning from those errors is a little bit easier on you than learning from a 10 bell error, right? It's just different. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, what if the Oilers don't score in the first period despite loading up? Is it a failure? Well, I guess it depends. What if the Kings don't score? And what if the Oilers control all the play? And there's more to it than just the score. I know the score ultimately matters, no question. But Draisaitl, McDavid, there's two sides of it. You load them up the way they finished last game. He's like, now I don't believe the momentum carries over from one game to the next. I'm not a big believer in that. You've had 48 hours between games. I don't think you can carry it over. Heck, we see momentum changes in the snap of a finger in a game. Big hit, big block shot, big penalty kill, big power play going. All of a sudden, woof, your team feels good about themselves. So I don't think you can carry it over. However, I think the coach feels like McDavid, Draisaitl and Perry, they had some good success, so I'm going to keep them together and just hope the success continues. It doesn't mean that Edmonton's going to score 4 goals in the third period, right? Or 4 goals in the first period, right? That's probably unlikely. Well, because they're not going to pull their goalie and have a 6-on-5 twice, I guess, unless it's a delayed penalty. So when I look at the decision, I think it's twofold. It's one, hey, we want to go with those lines. And I guess the other one is, hey, guys, you guys played well when they were out of the lineup, so do that again. Right? Nugent Hopkins, when they were out, Henrique, when they were out, you guys played well. So now they're not going to get power play time. I understand it. Henrique at least. But you're saying, guys, you showed you could produce something. Now it's a short sample size, right? I don't love it, but at the same time, I don't hate it because I can see the rationale, and it's like anything. If they get the lead, then it works. Right? And there's no guarantee that you would get the lead if you played them on separate lines either. I want to be abundantly clear on that. Just because I kind of like them on separate lines. I've seen them longer stretches of time. I think it's better. Man, you run McDavid's line, you got the team on their heels. Now you run Draisaitl. You just got more minutes in the game with one of them on the ice. That's what I like. And I think when you bring Kane back in the lineup and you have Frederic back in the lineup, well, now you have more skill overall and definitely more physical play. So it allows you, if I have Draisaitl and McDavid on each line, I've still got good wingers with both of them, right? Like I don't have to play Podkolzin with Draisaitl anymore. I can give him somebody who has a better finishing ability. And so for me, I kind of like that option. So we're going to see what happens tonight. It is a big game. Make no mistake. And I know the game's in LA and it's not, hey, series doesn't start till the home team wins. Okay, but just remember, teams that go up 2-0 in a playoff series in a best of 7 all time are 88% chance to win. So it's a big game. It's early on, but it is a big game for the Edmonton Oilers. Take a quick break. When we come back, Kelly Buchberger is going to join us, break down the Oil and the Kings of the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave, 118th. And of course, hey, Wing Wednesday, get down here for the wings, and you got 525 beers, 525 highballs and more. Jasper Ave, 118th.
DJ Booster coming at you live with warmer weather, longer days, and dropping 2 new booster mixes for April from Booster Juice. Pucker up, party people! The Sexy Berry Booster Mixer features raspberry and lemon in perfect harmony. Then turn it all the way up with Mango Maker Booster Mixer with delicious mango and pineapple notes.
Mix it up with the new Booster Mixers at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999. Download the Booster Rewards app and order one today.
You know how you look forward to all your favorite sports coming back in the spring? Soccer, baseball, golf. Well, GS Construction looks forward to getting back to work with the warmer weather. We're all excited and geared up for this very busy time of year. The groundbreaking season is upon us, and GS Construction is ready to roll with all sorts of new projects. Projects that help the community and make the place we live in better. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref.
That ain't hard, is it?
And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Kevin Carius, Low Tide, Jason Gregor. They are all ready for the Cup Run. Sports 1440 is your home for all things hockey, including our pre- and post-game show with Andrew Walker. Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader.
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone. whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with the tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes! FittedGolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian, $5 Pink Whitney shots, and 60-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers score and win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave and 118th.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.426, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day. It is game day. Hey, you just keep the clock going. You're under 4 hours now for Puck Drop Game 2, a pivotal Game 2. The Oilers want to get back in this series, taking on the LA Kings. Kane comes in, Klinberg comes in, Jeff Skinner and Josh Brown are out tonight. No lineup changes for the Los Angeles Kings. And we have our qualifier today for Here Comes the Sun, an opportunity to win a $15,000 turnkey solar system for your home, courtesy of our friends Blake and the gang at Action Electrical. This is an unbelievable prize. Not only just the installation, everything, but it's all the money you're going to save afterwards. This is huge for yourself, or if you want to gift it to someone, you need to be a homeowner. You must reside within 50K. Now, if you don't live within 50K, but you're going to gift it to someone who does, that works. Okay, just keep that in mind. And today's qualifier is Dan. Dan, congratulations. You're in the draw, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And you?
Great, man. It's playoff day. I love playoffs. Well, every day is a playoff day right now. NBA and NHL. It's a great time of year. It's getting nice out. We're going to be golfing soon. So there's lots to get excited about. Dan, I'm assuming you own your own home?
Yes, I do.
All right. Would you keep it or would you gift it, the solar system?
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have to keep the snow off them in the winter?
Yeah, usually depends how much. Depends the grade. Usually the grade of your roof, most of it will come off naturally. We have it at our barn, and it's rare every now and then. I have like a unique kind of rake that you can pull off of it, but I would say 90% of it just comes off anyway. It'll depend on the grade of your roof.
Well, yeah, I got a 412, but it's a 2-story, so I wouldn't be going up to get the snow off.
Oh yeah. Well, then no, those ones probably not. No, I think it's.
So I'd probably hang on to it because it sounds like it would help out with the cost.
Oh, it's going to lower your bill a lot. All right, stay on the line. Connor Halley will get your information, and there's one final step to do. It involves an email. Connor will explain it to you, and then we'll rock and roll. Good luck.
Well, thank you very much.
There you go. There's Dan, who is our contestant today. We'll do it again tomorrow for Here Comes the Sun. Now, let's continue to talk some hockey as we are joined by former NHLer, Stanley Cup winner, is currently the head coach in Devon in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. Kelly Buchberger joins us. Bucky, how you doing?
Greg, unreal. How are you doing? I did the Kevin Carrier show yesterday, and you guys had the same intro. You love the heavy-duty heavy metal Music, huh?
Oh, well, I think Connor got that. Isn't that you back in the day when you were rocking your long hair? You're just, back in Saskatchewan. I'm pretty sure that's all you listened to, wasn't it?
I don't think so, but anyways, it's working.
Now, did you were you out running stairs already today?
Oh, I got it. Whatever I did, I got her done.
Before we get to the playoffs, I want to talk, how, expansion team in the AJHL. Expansion teams in any league are difficult, but, you got some young kids kind of teaching them the ropes. How was year one for the Express?
I think for everybody, it was a little tough, from the coaching staff to the owners, players. There's no question it was tough, but one thing we did, though, we developed our younger players. I think we finished the season with 16 first-year players, and they had a lot of quality ice time. They got to play power play. They got to play PK. But in saying that, they probably, if they played on other teams, they probably wouldn't have got that ice time and that development. And for us, it's all about development. We want to make sure our players are getting that ice time, and they did get it this past year. And unfortunately, we didn't have a great record, but we thought our players got better.
Well, and that's really kind of part of the plan. It sucks. It's always great in theory, but I'm sure once you're in it, it's like, ooh, this losing, it can grate on somebody for sure. So now you look at this playoff series, Bucky, and you were involved in a game once. Of course, you scored the overtime winner when the Oilers came back from a 3-0 deficit, tied it late in the game with 3 goals, and then you scored in overtime. And the Oilers had the huge comeback. Unfortunately, was unable to finish it off. But what do you make of it when you play in games? Like, playoffs are so different. Like, it was almost a story of 2 games. The first 38 minutes, the Kings dominated, and the Oilers just almost looked like disinterested, really, for a playoff game. And man, they score a goal, and all of a sudden they're like, well, now we're in the game. And it came on. Like, do you expect any of that for either side to carry over to tonight, or is it completely a new game?
I think it's a new game, but I'm going to ask you a question. How do you explain momentum? Which is, I just, after all the years I've been in the game, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
How, Edmonton, like you said, they weren't totally into the game, but all of a sudden, bang, they're right into the game. They're going, they're dominating, they're scoring goals, they tie it up. And it's hard to explain that it doesn't happen at the start. But that momentum thing is always a puzzle to me. But saying that, I didn't watch the full game, to be honest, because it's a little past my bedtime, Greg's, and I like to go to bed early. But I think Edmonton's right there. They got every piece of the puzzle they need to dominate and win games and go for a long stretch in the playoffs. And they just got to get that confidence right from the start, and they'll roll from there.
Yeah, and you mentioned momentum. Like, it looked like the Oilers had all the momentum, right? They tie the game twice, pulling the empty net, or pulling their goalie, and LA misses 3 shot attempts at the empty net from distance, and they're like, oh my God, it's 5-5, and you think you have all the momentum, and then 40 seconds later the Kings score, and it's boom, it's game over. You've coached, Bucky, you played. Knobloch's going to start the game loading up Draisaitl and McDavid. From a coaching aspect, do you like loading it up? And is it challenging the rest of your guys to step up, or is it more like, hey, we don't think LA can match it? Tell me, now that you've coached many years, kind of that X and O game of thinking, okay, why this is going to work for us, and maybe put the other team in an uncomfortable situation.
I'm just going from a coaching side. What I think they're going to do is this, that they didn't get off to a good start last couple days ago, and maybe putting Draisaitl and Connor together, that they can come out and spark the team right away and go from there. But that's just my theory on what they're probably doing with that. But saying that, I think to win in the playoffs and to win any game is that you have to have 20 guys going. You have to have everybody contributing in some way. And when you play your role to the best ability, if you're on the top 6, you know what your job is. We all know that if you're top 6. If you're bottom 6, you know your role. You got to be a good defensively. You got to PK. You got to shut down games. And I think, the Oilers have that. I think Chris has done a great job of putting it into the kids. And listen, they had a great record. And they're one goal away from winning that first game, and panic doesn't set in. It's just, they have to rally and they have to battle back and find a win tonight.
Kelly Buckberger joins us. Now, Buck, you mentioned it is, well, it is a little late for you, but when you watch the games now, being a coach at the junior A level, but also being a former player, like, do you watch it as a fan? Do you watch it as like a coach? How do you watch the games?
Usually on my back. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I analyze it all. I find myself at times watching the systems from both teams, from LA and Edmonton, the way they play and what system they're playing and what maybe I could use for my team and go forward. But as a player, I always think, well, what would I have done here? Where would I fit in the Oilers organization? And, those are just thoughts that go through your game. But right now, I'm more of a fan than anybody. I love cheering for the Oilers. I love being part of, hopefully this great run we have. And especially last year, it was such a great atmosphere for everybody in the city. And I feel we're going to have the same thing this year.
Well, the playoffs are interesting, obviously. And last year, you go all the way to the Stanley Cup final, and, it's Game 7, and, the miracle comeback down 3-0. It definitely adds some excitement. And it's funny that even though the team does, like, there's lots of nerves and angst, amongst Oilers Nation fans, and they're, oh, geez, can they go again? And, there's an injury. And, the injury factor, Bucky, when you're a player, though, like, everybody knows, Ekholm's value to the team. It's pretty obvious. But once the game preparation, like, no one's thinking about it. Oh, geez, I wish we had Matthias Ekholm. Like, it's kind of a weird thing. He's important to your team, but once a guy is hurt, I'm not saying it's out of sight, out of mind, but you kind of have to block out guys and not think about them when they're injured.
No, listen, I think everybody's hurting at this time of year. You play 82 games throughout the schedule, and it's wear and tear, and it's you're almost playing every 2.5 days. There's no question about that. And it's wearing on the body, and this is a hard game to play. And there's every team in the league is probably in the same boat. There's guys that are hurting, but if you're not hurting, you're not winning. And it's what the old saying, it's hard to win, and you have to pay the price to win. It's easy to lose. You just don't pay the price, and you can lose hockey games. But I find that, with Ekholm, listen, he paid the price all year for the Oilers to get where they are. Will he be back? I hope he is back, and he'll make them a way better team. But he also showed them the way to get there and what it took to be a good hockey team and be a good teammate where you're going to have success in the playoffs.
As a coach, Bucky, or even as a teammate, when you have a skilled player on your team and they touch the puck a lot, and they're not always going to make the best play. Like, sometimes, hey, a guy's going to try a pass, it's going to get knocked down. It happens. How would you coach? Because I'm sure at your level, you got a young offensive-minded defenseman who maybe, will turn the puck over a little bit more. What's your approach to a guy like Bouchard, and how you work with them so you can eliminate the big mistakes? How do you do it?
Well, as a player, you're thinking you're going to go out there and make the right play. There's no question. And you're hopefully everything's going to do the right thing. And this is an old saying that when I played for Glenn Sather, he goes, listen, guys, I know you guys don't go out there and try and make mistakes. I know you're going to go out there and try your best. But you got to think, you got to do the right thing defense first. And like I'm thinking of watching Montreal play 2 nights ago or last night. The backhanded play by, I don't want to say who, but turns the puck over in the neutral zone. And where did the puck end up in? Back of the net in Montreal, in their net. Like, you got to buy in to what the coach and the organization is selling. And for any skilled player, for them to buy in, it's hard. There's no question, because when Washington won the Stanley Cup, why did they win? I'm going to ask you, Greggs, why did they win?
Well, I think a lot of people talk about, Ovechkin, one of their leaders, he's blocking shots, maybe was a little bit more committed defensively. I think that's definitely probably part of it. Although when the Oilers won, I don't know if Wayne ever blocked any shots.
Well, I'll be honestly, he probably never got skinny. Well, that's Mac T's favorite word, is that we can't get skinny tonight. And but winning is paying the price.
Yes.
And I think you look at Florida, the way they played last year, like guys were hurting after. They were hurting. And I'm sure the Oilers were hurting too. But when you pay the price, you got a great chance, a percentage of winning hockey games and winning the series. And I believe that the Oilers have that ingrained in themselves. They learned from last year. They're going to have all their players going to be better in this run. And, hey, we're all hoping for them the best. We cheer for them. And listen, we wish them all the best.
Kelly Buchberger joins us. And Kelly, experience. The Oilers have a lot of it now, right? Like you look at, they've played the second most playoff games over the last 3 years in the NHL. Like you gain that experience of, they've been down in a series 1-0, 2-1, and 3-0, and you come back. Can you talked about momentum, and it's hard to describe how it works. But what about experience of just being in that situation? Is it simply that you learn how not to get so emotionally invested either up or down after a big win or a big loss? Is that the biggest thing you gain from experience, or were there other things that over your career that you felt experience really helped you later on in the playoffs?
Well, Greg, that's a good question, because did you watch the Toronto game yesterday when Toronto scored and Craig Berube, the coaches were kind of going overboard, and how he calmed them down?
Yes,
that's experience. And I'm sure the Oilers have got that experience that, hey, we're down a goal or down 2 goals. Listen, we're going to come back. We got a chance of coming back, because they have the horses to do it. And it's one of those things that you can't get too excited. You can't get too down in the playoffs, because you've got a chance, because the way the players turn up their level of play in the playoffs, it's not like regular season. I know everybody tries in regular season to be the best they can be, but it seems like when the playoffs start, everybody turns it up a notch. And when you do, and you have that composure of being a good team, good teammate, that you really have a great chance of winning, coming from behind, doing the right thing every day. And when that happens, your organization has a chance of winning.
And one last one for you, Kelly. Evander Kane comes back into the lineup, and the game has changed a lot over the years, but I still believe that intimidation is a part of the game. And Kane's not only, he's a unique blend because he's intimidating, but he's also a skilled player. Last year, even banged up, he still was able to score 24 goals in the regular season, add some in the playoffs as well. What do you expect from a guy like Evander Kane? Is like the first game after a long layoff easier than game 2 or 3 because you got so much adrenaline? Like, should we think that tonight might be a bigger game from Kane than the next few because, the adrenaline, or maybe you get sore after being off for 10 months and you're coming in, to the playoffs, which is much harder than coming in after 6 months off in November or January?
Well, he's going to be motivated. We know that. And he's probably going to add a spark to the team. He's got physicality, which we know the first round of the playoffs are probably the best round to watch because of the physicality. You watch that St. Louis Winnipeg series, how physical they are, the hard hitting guys are paying the price, and they're hurting going back to the bench. And, you love to be part of it, even though it hurts, but you love being part of the war and part of the process, the winning hockey games. And I think Evander can bring that for the Oilers. He can bring that spark tonight. And, he's probably going to play a big part because of his physicality. Well, because you look at the LA, they're a bigger team. They play physical. They play hard. They're hard to play against, but we need to match that. We need to get guys that are physical. They're playing hard against them and equalize their physicality.
Bucky, good to catch up with you. What's the plan in the offseason for you guys to get better in Devon? How's it working? You got spring camps coming up. What's up?
Well, Greg, this phone never leaves my ear. We're always trying to get better. We're going to be better next year. And like I said earlier in the conversation, is that we played all our younger players. I believe in development. I've been with it before with the Oilers, that year by year, everybody gets better in pro. And I believe that in the same thing in junior, because I did coach Tri-Cities for 3 years and seen the development of players in 3 years. And I believe we can have that here in the AJ, and we're going to be a better team next year. And I want to thank you for having me, and hey, go Oilers.
Awesome, Kelly. Great to talk to you, buddy. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. All right. Take care, Grace. Bye-bye.
There you go. That's Kelly Buckberger. I'm telling you right now, he is probably still in as good a shape as 95% of the NHL guys. Like, I still laugh at McTavish to tell me the story about, Jesus started training with Bucky. And he's like, and some of you guys do, but he's out there running the stairs. He's got the weight vests on, and he's just going nuts. And he's like, God, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm in my 60s. But you see Kelly, and he is in like great shape still. So good for him. 4:45, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. We'll return. We got 5 questions. We got Spec coming up. Also, we'll hear from the LA side of things with the mayor, John Hoban, and more on the Gregor Show live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now, for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. A Minecraft movie meal, available now at your local McDonald's. See it in theaters April 4th. Meal available for a limited time while supplies last at participating Canadian restaurants.
Tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 5-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site, April 29th to May 3rd, 8 a.m. Live online bidding on offer. Core construction, heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids start April 23rd. On-site viewing starts April 23rd. And timed auction starts April 23rd. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
The My Choice sales event is back at Nissan, where you can get the all-new boldly redesigned Kicks with best-in-class cargo space. Right now, choose Kicks S front-wheel drive with $1,200 in Nissan bonus or accessory credit, or choose 3-year prepaid maintenance. The choice is yours with My Choice. Hurry in, these offers won't last long. Head to your local Nissan dealer today. Available in leasing or financing through NCF. Conditions apply. See Nissan.ca for details.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Commissioner Allen Auctions Public Unreserved Equipment Auctions is Friday at 9 a.m. A complete dispersal of R. Badke Oilfield Limited, including 2020 Jerry Tri-Lowboy and Gincor Tri-Step Deck, 2021 Wren, and 2018 Doper Tri-End Dumps. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company. More than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Welcome back to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game tonight. Ooh, Lotto, 649, the OG of the Lotters. Been around a long time. Many of you have won. Maybe one of you could win tonight. $52 million in the gold ball jackpot and the or guaranteed $1 million, as well as the classic jackpot of $5 million. So lots of opportunities at PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. 4-day, actually saving more right now, up to $1,150 on sectionals, 25% off bedroom and dining furniture, or save up to $100,000 off a big screen TV right now at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Look at your official prediction for tonight's game. And also, I looked at PlayAlberta.ca. That is shot totals for McDavid and Draisaitl at 2.5. So prediction in the score and over under 2.5 shots for McDavid and Draisaitl.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say the Oilers do rebound in this one, eliminate some of their issues, find a way to get the win 4-2. No empty netter, and I will take McDavid and Draisaitl, I think, with ease to get over 2.5 shots each. It was a little slow last game, 1 each at the midpoint, but give me the over in shots for both of them.
Ooh, all right. So that would mean they'd each have to have 3 shots on goal, which is 6. It's like, how many power plays are they getting, right? So that would be a factor. Draisaitl did have 2 shots alone just on the power play last game. Those are the only 2 shots they had the whole game on the power play. So now, is McDavid going to shoot 3 times? I still saw 3 situations last game. He was right in the slot and he wouldn't shoot. So, yeah, I might. I would probably go under McDavid, over on Draisaitl.
When they shot, they scored. I'm just hoping that's like, oh, it works. Did you have a prediction for the game?
Well, I feel the Oilers, I'm just looking at the numbers historically. They want to win the series. They got to win tonight. You go down 0-2. Yeah, you can still win, but your odds drop significantly. Like 88% of teams who go up 2-0 win the series. So it's not a must-win game, but it's a huge game. So I think Edmonton finds a way to get a split, and they win the game 3-2.
Your expectations in this game for Kane and Klinberg as they make their playoff debuts, maybe more so for Kane, who's been out for almost a year.
It's funny. I probably have higher expectations for Kane, and that's just because I have really low ones for Klingberg on what I've seen recently in the in the playoffs, or sorry, in the regular season. Kane, at bare minimum, I think there's going to be some yapping, right? And he'll try to elevate the energy on the ice. It's hard to say, man. I think, Kane has the ability to score. Like, he scored 7 goals in one series against the Kings a few years ago. So, you know what? He can show up. There's no doubt about it. Now, he really hasn't been healthy for a long time. You think about it. He had that gruesome injury where Maroon accidentally stepped on his wrist, and then he came back from that, and, maybe even came back a bit too early. He played, but, then he got hurt. And so, what can 100% healthy Evander Kane look like? It's fascinating to me. If I just look at natural skill, I'd still probably put just on natural skill. He's probably 3rd on the Oilers amongst their forwards. I think he's got more natural finishing ability than Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. So, yeah, I think Kane can have a much more impactful game tonight than Klingberg can.
Yeah, I mean, for Klingberg, I think it's just, I don't want to hear his name. And then for Kane, I want to hear the name. I want to see him throwing hits, talking a little bit. Offense is a bonus. I mean, that would be great. But if he can add a little swagger to this lineup, I think that's going to go a long way. And yeah, just going out there and bringing a presence to himself and to the lineup, I think would be good for me from Kane. Question number 3, if you put yourself on the other side, what do you think the key to victory is for the LA Kings tonight?
Well, I think if you're the Kings, you want to, I think you want a good start again, right? What they scored in the first 3 minutes of the game, and, get Edmonton on their heels again, get them thinking, right? That to me is the key, I think, for LA tonight. And the other one is just, try to get Edmonton to take penalties, because right now LA's power play looks pretty good.
Yeah, score first for the Kings. I think that's a big one. And then just try to prevent McDavid and Draisaitl from going to the net. I thought they did a really good job of preventing that. the Oilers as a whole. And then when they scored their goals, it started to get into the blue paint where they did their damage. So keep them on the perimeters, and I think that would be a good route for the LA Kings. Question number 4 for you: with the PWHL heading to Vancouver, when, if ever, do you see Edmonton getting a team?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you look, Vancouver has that arena, right? So the way the PWHL is set up, because people are like, well, the Oilers will own the team. Well, right now, it's all owned by one entity. It's a league that's owned by one entity, one company, right? And I'm pretty sure it's one of the guys who's with the Dodgers. He's part of that ownership group. And so now they have 7 franchises, right? Now, eventually they might branch out to individual ones. And then if they did, Edmonton would consider. At this stage today, the PWHL doesn't want to play in the NHL arenas. Now, they do in some places, Minnesota, but in I think with Vancouver coming in now, the majority aren't, right? Because they don't draw enough just yet. And it might take years to consistently. Now, you can have a game come here once a year, and yes, they will sell out. But that doesn't mean they're going to sell out let's just be realistic here. They don't sell out every game of teams they have in Toronto. They're not going to sell out every game in Edmonton. We just have to be honest. So, it's no different than the Oil Kings. Look at the Oil Kings attendance on a Saturday, Sunday compared to a weekday. It's significantly different. So with the PWHL, would it succeed here if they had the right building? No doubt in my mind. But they need a building, and right now they don't have one. So they might have a better chance going to Seattle next. But they're gonna, with them going west to Vancouver, it's smart. I question, is it too soon? That's my only question. Because I'm curious what they're going to do for scheduling cons. Are you going to fly all the way across the country for one game? That's a lot of extra budget that you got to put in for your team. So I'm thinking, when Toronto flies to Vancouver, are they playing 2 games in Vancouver? Probably. That would make the most sense, wouldn't it? And that's how every team, when they come to Vancouver, that's what they do. Now, Vancouver's easier. They go on a road trip, and they're going to take, 1 game in Ottawa, 1 game Montreal, 1 game Toronto. Boom. No big deal. Right? Another road trip, they're going to Minnesota, Boston, etc. But being the only team that far away, they're at a significant disadvantage simply on travel.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and we've kind of talked about in the past how much it might be a good thing for the NHL to do that in the future. Have teams go, say Edmonton goes to Toronto and plays 2 games rather than 1, ignite the rivalry, save travel a little bit. For an Edmonton team, I just don't think there's a perfect home for the rink. Where would it be? If you can find that mid-sized spot, if it's ever built, I think that'd be awesome. But I think we're still, I'm going to say 5+ years at least if the Oilers or Edmonton ever were to get a PWHL team. Final question for you: on this day in 2001, Fatboy Slim's music video for Weapon of Choice was released, which featured Christopher Walken dancing around a hotel. I remember it being quite popular. So other than Call on Me, what's your favorite music video of all time?
You go ahead. I got a few. I got to decide on one.
I'm going to give you my top 3, if that's okay. That's my question, so I guess I can do it. Buddy Holly by Weezer, when they're back in the set of Happy Days. I like that one. I always liked Hey Ya by Outkast with Andre 3000 doing the role of everything, playing the drums, the keyboards, the little backup singers. That was a fun one. But my number 1 would be Here It Goes Again by OK Go, when they're all on the treadmills and they're just kind of dancing around the whole time. I thought that was pretty clever and probably pretty low budget. So that would be my favorite one.
Yeah, wow. Call on Me is a classic.
It was too easy. It's too easy.
It is too easy, but it's now, it's a classic for the young Jason Gregor. I'm a little bit different in my age, but when I was a young teenage guy, heck, in your early 20s, you're like, oh God, I watch that video all day. But still, to me, one of the greatest videos was the original video that I saw. One of the first ones was, of course, Michael Jackson and Thriller.
Yeah.
It was epic. And just everything about it, the dancing, the storyline a little bit. But more so just the choreography and all that, I thought was, just outstanding. It was just, when you look at a lot of now, I haven't watched many videos in the last 10 years. So there's probably a video that's out recent that might be say, hey, Gregor, it's really good. And that's okay. But I haven't seen it. So I'd probably still have to go with Thriller.
Can't beat it.
Oh, it was just so good.
It's like a mini movie almost. You just sit down and watch it for a while.
Yeah. I'm sure there's I'd be curious what's the best music video in the last 5 years, right? I wonder if there's a consensus on it, if anybody thinks it's hey, this is the the best one we'd see. But you look at And obviously, sometimes it's going to come down to music because everybody likes, certain genres of music more than others, right? So that's obvious, and that's going to, and that's going to be a big part of it. But I'd be curious, just because I haven't watched one any, very recently at all, that I would look and say, okay, like that's really getting my. I'm trying to think of even what's ZZ Top had "Give Me All Your Lovin'." That was a pretty good one.
How about Sabotage, Beastie Boys? When they're the cops.
Oh,
that's a fun one.
yeah. That one was actually pretty good. Somebody, my buddy sent me one the other day, and I was like, no, I thought it was terrible. But there's one. I know a lot of people like the "Take on Me." I love the song "Take on Me" by Aha. I didn't like the video. I don't know if you've ever seen the video.
It's when he gets pulled into the cartoon, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Did you like that video? I didn't love it.
Kind of cool, creativity, I thought.
Yeah. The other one that I liked was oh God, what's the name of it? Who sings it? Sledgehammer.
Peter Gabriel. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's another one that I remember off the top of my head. So, and then the other one that was pretty popular, I remember for a while, was Vogue, just because of all the dance moves and everything, right? Everybody remembered that from Madonna. So that was kind of a catchy remembering one. Hey, Gregor, "Eat It" by Weird Al. His songs, they were so simple but funny when you think of it. Hey guys, "Californication" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers is the best music video. Ryan from Bentley. Ryan, I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen it. Oof. So, guys, "Party All the Time" with Eddie Murphy and Rick James. Remember that? Yeah, somebody bet Eddie Murphy, right, that he could make a popular song. I think that's a storyline. So, hey guys, how can you not go with "Hot for Teacher"? We're getting a lot of those come in. Fair, that's good. Or whose mom is it? Why am I forgetting the name of the song?
Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom. Rachel Hunter. Hello. And by the way, Rachel Hunter is one of the nicest, one of the most genuine people I ever met. I had a chance to spend a few hours with her. Remember when what's the guy for Motley Crue who was doing the DJ there for a bit, and he was in the Parkade in Edmonton? Tommy Lee. And he actually was a DJ Cons, and it was in a Parkade in Edmonton. And Jared Stoll and I were still buddies, and we'd become friends then, and he was dating her. And so I used to kind of bug him about it. And then I was there with my buddies, and he was there and introduced me. And then he went off. Her and I ended up talking for quite a while. She was, and just because I was chirping Stoley, so she loved it. So it was, but she was super nice. And by the way, one of the most naturally pretty people I've ever seen. But super nice. She was actually genuinely nice. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers as Truck Month continues on right now. Stop in, and of course, you get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD models. Learn more at gmccanada.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Edmonton Oilers down in LA for Game 2 against the Kings. Puck drop after 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, you got the Canadians taking on the Caps, trailing 1-0, and Avs and Stars going at it in Denver. That series tied at a game apiece. In the association tonight, Celtics host the Magic, Heat, and Cleveland, and the Warriors taking on the Rockets. Celtics, Cavs, and Warriors leading those series 1-0. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays in action down in Houston. First pitch set for 5:40. Couple games going on right now. Mariners lead the Red Sox 1-0 in the first, and in the second, the Nationals have a 3-0 lead over the Orioles. Earlier today, it was the Yankees over the Guardians 5-1. Mets get past the Phillies 4-3, and the Tigers playing the Padres 6-0. In the WHL tonight, it's Game 7 between the Hitmen and the Hurricanes in Calgary. That gets going at 7. In the AJ League Final has Calgary looking to end it, completing the sweep over GP. That also starts at 7. And in the Edmonton area, Crusaders looking to stay alive as they host the Brooks Bandits, trailing 3-0. That one gets going at 7 from the PWHL. We've got a new franchise in Vancouver. They'll kick off play in 2025-2026. That season expected to begin in November. And in the NFL, Lions and All-Pro safety Kirby Joseph reaching a new contract extension, 4 years, $86 million. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. And John Hogan from Mayor's Manor will stop by to talk some LA Kings. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hey, Alberta. The all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store.
Free
deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house.
It is game day sports.
OIL for a $100
It is game day
casino
sports.
bonus.
Sports 1440 Orders Nation.
Get ready to
40 Orders
revolutionize
Nation,
your
YouTube,
job site with
Facebook,
Edmonton
X,
Kubota's
and
game-changing compact construction equipment from mini
I
excavators
know
and
people
skid
like, hey,
steers to
my son's
track
like, Dad,
loaders,
the game
carriers,
says
and utility vehicles. They have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with
Just
Edmonton
under
Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
We've been waiting for this since preseason. It's playoff time,
Facebook,
and Sports
YouTube.
1440 is your home for all things hockey. Kevin, Lowside, Jason, and the pre- and post-game shows with Anthony.
This is a sport.
Reasons why we're Edmonton's sports leader.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe. And Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now, for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. A Minecraft movie meal, available now at your local McDonald's. See it in theaters April 4th. Meal available for a limited time while supplies last at participating Canadian restaurants.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made. If they were,
we are
better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs
Drop
make all the
game
difference
2
in the world.
for 4
From beginners
hours
to
away.
pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference.
Yes.
FittedGolf.ca.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to
Orders
homes in
Nation,
rural
YouTube,
and small
Facebook,
town
X,
Canada.
and Instagram.
Upgrade
Hope you're
today
having a
at
lovely day. It is game.
LERD.ca.
Truck Month is on at Chevrolet. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on a
40 Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Well,
custom
it-
blackout
and of
or
course,
custom
get a
Trail Boss.
$5,000
With custom Trail Boss's available class exclusive Duramax 3-liter diesel engine and Z71 off-road package with a 2-inch factory suspension lift, you get both on-road confidence and off-road capability. Dirt road ahead. Let's go! Truck Month is awesome. Ask your Chevrolet dealer for details.
Drought Fighter and Disease Control are both included with every Green Drop program at no extra cost. Since 1979, Green Drop has been making beautiful weed-free lawns guaranteed. Book today.
Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Visit greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Did you know that Japa offers in-house and on-site service? Rain or shine, Japa Service Department is here for you. Get a quote now at japamachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Game 4 Sunday in Edmonton, where I'm sure it'll be rocking in and outside the arena on Friday and Saturday. Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show. It's going to be rocking here and on the rocks tonight. Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Man, it's already filling up here tonight, a little bit more than Monday at this time. So it's a good sign. If you like to enjoy the games with fellow fans, have some wings, have some good drink specials and beer and cocktails, we'll stop in. Jasper Ave 118th, your place to watch the game tonight and all through the playoffs. Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight the odds at PlayAlberta.ca. I should get in and check on it. The Oilers and the Kings. If we look at the game tonight, Oilers, a little bit of an underdog. So if you like the Oilers odds, tonight might be your chance. PlayAlberta.ca. Now let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist, and they are hiring. If you want to work for a fantastic company and a company that loves to promote from within, so many of their top leaders are guys who started and gals who started at the bottom and have worked their way up. So if you're looking for a career opportunity, go to gsconstruction.com, check them out, and apply today. As Mark Spector joins us from lovely LA. Well, I assume it's lovely, Spec. Good weather out there?
Yeah, a little cloudy today. It's not hot California, but just fine. I don't know. I hear it's nice there. Might be warmer where you are.
Yeah, well, I don't even know. I don't even know what the temperature is. But yeah, it's not bad today. A little cloudy. So, hey, some news, obviously, for the Oilers. Evander Kane is in. Spec, you don't have to worry about it anymore. He is in. Klingberg is in. What's your expectations? You talked to Kane today. He said, well, I'm kind of calm now, but obviously once the game comes, I might be a little bit more fired up. What are you expecting from him tonight?
Well, it's funny. The only guy that scored more goals against LA in these last 3 years than is Draisaitl. Kane is in second place among Oilers scoring goals in this series. He scored a lot of goals in this first round, right? Scored that big one that he scored the empty netter in Game 6. Remember, he put up his 7 fingers to the crowd.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, listen, Kane, when healthy, is a playoff performer. Always has been. The game comes to him in the playoffs. What he brings, you need more of in the postseason, not less. So, the only question is how rusty are you? Where are you after 10 months away? The guy hasn't played for 10 months here, right? June 10th of last year. So I don't expect a ton, but you know what? It's going to be fun to watch. Let's see what happens here.
Now, Spec, Cons wanted me to let you know that if you want to turn your camera on, we could see you because we can hear you, but we can't see you. Just in case, maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you just got out of the shower. But yeah, there you go. Now it is perfect. You look at the line matchups. Now we know that Corey Perry is going to play every shift with McDavid and Draisaitl. He's not going to play that many minutes, obviously. But do you like that Knobloch is loading up the top line because he wants to get an early start? I'm assuming that's the plan here. Or do you, because I don't think he's Jay Woodcroft that's going to go with the line. He's never done that and then, have lines in warm up and then go different lines to start the game. Now he has consistently, we've seen lots of different combinations every game, right? So I don't put a massive amount of stock in it, but usually when he starts Draisaitl McDavid, he keeps them together.
Yeah. I was on Kevin's show this morning saying I would start them apart, but that's how I work. I feel like you should save, a nuclear option for plan B. But I think the reasoning here, Jay, is, in Game 1, when he did play them together in the third period, LA couldn't handle them, right? Could not handle them. So I feel like, a huge key to playing LA, they need a good start. So you want McDavid and Draisaitl together. You want to get a lead on LA for sure. They're a hard team to play from behind on, so you want to play those guys together. I have a feeling this is a bit of an opponent-based decision, and it's it's tactical because you're down in the series. If you get a bit of a lead, do you take them apart? I don't know what you do here, but this is where he's going. I agree with you. This isn't a Woodcroft thing. I think they're going to play together all night. The only question is, you're right, Perry's not playing 25 minutes, so probably Hyman will get a shift there once in a while, maybe Brown. But I guess we're going to see those guys right off the top. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, LA's changing nothing in their lineup.
Nope.
Kane goes in with Hyman and Nugent Hopkins. With on paper, like that line should be able to produce. And ultimately, you're going to need some other guys here to step up. We had Kelly Buchberger on last hour, and he says, hey, doesn't really matter who you play with. It's the playoffs, and you need guys like Janmark finally scored a goal, right? Like last game. You need guys to step up and do some stuff. And so you look at Nugent Hopkins, like there's lots of players, Spec, who could be way better than they were in Game 1.
Well, I mean, listen, the place it has to start is you can't let the other team have 5 or 6 goals. Like, that's where it starts, right? This is the playoffs. You don't, unfortunately, it's not 1981 anymore. We don't play 6-5 games in the playoffs very often. And I love 6-5 hockey, you know me, but it has to start for the Oilers to figure out their own end here. There's D-zone coverage at times was brutal in game 1. They just weren't engaged enough to start the series, Jay. It took them 40 minutes to get engaged. Draisaitl was giving them hell on the bench, and rightfully so. So it has to start in the first shift. It has to start early in the game. It has to start with a proper defensive commitment. It has to start with better goaltending. All those foundations. On top of that, yeah, let's get some guys scoring. Let's get some guys hitting and stuff. But you can hit all you want. If the other guy's got 4 goals after 2 periods, I doubt you're winning tonight.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid. The Oilers, I don't expect them to be lacking confidence. It's one game, right? They have the experience of the last 4 years to know that, you can't we're up 1-0. Doesn't matter. You're down 1-0. It really doesn't matter. It's a whole new game tonight, but they need a much better start, Spec. I think that's, Captain Obvious stuff here, but they weren't good. And when I say a good start, it's not 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Like they weren't good at all for almost 38 minutes.
Not engaged enough, right? It looked like a regular season game. Nobody hitting anybody, and sometimes like there's different ways to get your team going. And we've seen all throughout hockey. Sometimes it's a fight. I'm not saying that's going to happen as playoff hockey, but I mean, someone's got to hit somebody. Someone's got to score a goal. If you don't get the goal, how about a hit? If you don't get the hit, how about standing over their goaltender a little bit and having a few scrums? If you don't get the scrums, find a new way, man. Somebody on that roster has to find a way to get some juice in this lineup right away and early. Listen, after the game 1, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think there's 20 guys who all say the same thing. But, a guy like Corey Perry, watch for him. He knows how to get things rolling. He knows how to see when his team doesn't have the energy. Listen, man, if they don't have the energy again for 2 nights in a row, I'm going to start to wonder about this team. 1 game, okay, not a great start. I can't see him having a bad start like that twice in a row. Can you?
Well, not that bad. I'd be surprised, right? I guess anything's possible, right? Like there is 2 teams, and the LA Kings did play pretty well, right? Like they liked their start, right? We talked a lot about what the Oilers didn't like, but the LA had lots of things I think they liked about their start. And Phil Deneau, his line still outscored McDavid 2-0 on the game, right? Including the game winner. Spec, and that's the matchup they're going to have. So I think it puts a lot of onus on Henrique and Nugent Hopkins line. They're going to go like the Kopitar. I know Deneau's line scored 2 goals, and that's great. Like Deneau scored twice. I don't think we expect that to be the norm, right? Usually it's Kempe and Kopitar's lines who are going. So to me, the Nugent Hopkins Henrique lines, like they got to be ready here to go tonight.
Well, they do. I mean, Deneau gets a goal off of a direct pass in the slot from Evan Bouchard. So I think if you don't pass it to the other team in your slot, you got a better chance of containing them. And then on the last goal, I mean, he did score the game winner. It was a change up from 25 feet that, I don't know. I'm not going to give him too much credit on that. I don't think he's giving himself a lot of credit, but they can score that. Listen, they're a deeper team than they used to be, right? They're a deeper team than they used to be. And I guess my question for you is, what's your matchup if you're Hiller, coach of the LA Kings? Whose line gets if Draisaitl and McDavid are together, who do you match up against them? Kopitar's line or Deneau's line?
Well, that's a good question. I still think that now it's never going to be 100% matchup because Deneau played 8 minutes and 5-on-5 against McDavid last game, and Kopitar I think had 3 or 4, and Byfield had 2 or something if my memory's correct. So it's never 100%, but LA is always going to try to have Deneau. They still believe that he's their best guy to play against McDavid.
So do I think that. And the one thing about putting those 2 guys together, it's an easier matchup for the other team, right? That McDavid line is going to get Doughty and Mikey Anderson every shift. They're probably going to get a whole lot more of Deneau in game 2 than they did in game 1. We all know it. When you separate those 2 centermen, Draisaitl and McDavid, the matchup gets tough because somebody gets a second pairing. This simplifies it for Hiller a little bit, putting those 2 guys together, doesn't it?
It could, right? It could, and that's where there's always a risk in every decision you make as a coach, right?
Yep.
And I think that he's going for the good start. Who knows how long it lasts? Spec, if he gets a good start, maybe they stay the whole game. Maybe he's like, okay, now let's get some other guys going. We'll see. I do find it interesting, Podkolzin and Arvidsson. I look at two guys, Spec, who, Jeff Skinner is the guy who came out tonight. I'm not uber surprised by that by any stretch. I just look at actions speak louder than words all year long from the coach. But Podkolzin and Arvidsson now down to the fourth line, with Kane and Frederick in, which makes sense to me for Podkolzin. But, you look at some guys now, other guys are going to have to play better here because, Jeff Skinner still had an assist last game. Yeah, you didn't like his play on the one goal. I know people look at -3, but he really had nothing to do with two of those other goals, when he's on the ice. So I look at I look at some other guys that say, hey, we got a deeper lineup, and if you're not going, then guess what? Skinner's coming back in game 3.
Well, there's a few things here. Like with Kapanen out of the lineup, they've lost a penalty killing forward, right? Skinner, Kane's coming in. He doesn't play first unit power play. He doesn't kill penalties. Skinner doesn't play first unit power play. He doesn't kill penalties. So they're not going to take out a PK guy to bring Kane in and have Kane and Skinner in the same lineup. Neither of them kill penalties. So that was really, to me, the reason. Skinner and Kane are the same guy in terms of their duties on this team. So when one goes in, the other one's probably coming out. I would say to you that the game plan here with Arvidsson down on the fourth line with who's he with? Henrique and Podkolzin?
No, Janmark's centering Arvidsson and
Janmark.
Henrique's with Frederick and Brown.
I'd say that some of the loose shifts that maybe, if you don't put Perry over the boards with Draisaitl and McDavid, maybe the odd time you put Arvidsson over the boards with those two guys, and try to keep the Nugent Hopkins Hyman Kane line intact. So we'll see. I mean, the game's going to dictate how the coach uses guys, but I suggest Arvidsson will get a couple shifts up top with 97 and 29 for sure.
Now, what about on the back end? John Klingberg comes in. His coach said, he's going to play more than Josh Brown, which, hey, that could mean 6 minutes, and it would still be more than what he played last game. So I'm not sure that means a whole bunch. But what's your expectations of, I still think the big four are going to play a lot, and we're going to see pairings mixed and match, or do you think he'll stick with this righty-lefty combination for a bit?
Well, he did put Wallman and Kulak on separate pairings to start things here, right? Yep. So it tells me he's more interested in using 6 guys. I got to see Klingberg play here in the playoffs, and I think Paul Coffey has to see Klingberg play here in the playoffs. Klingberg, when he was playing, but he hasn't played for a really long time for one, but when he was playing, back early March, he was pretty decent with the puck. He usually made the right play. He wasn't great without the puck. He wasn't defending outstanding. So, these guys, they can't afford to have another guy back there who you can't trust defensively. So, let's see how much they use him. He's going to have to play well to get used more, or he's going to turn into Josh Brown and play 6 or 7 minutes, and that's it. Defending's important here.
Oh, yes.
For Pete's sakes, you're a defenseman. And I'm not, I'm not going to go back over it. Bouchard's work crushed this team in game 1, and adding another guy who doesn't defend real well, I'm not sure how much you're going to play him if he doesn't show himself to be a little bit better back there.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's how he moved, in the last few games I saw him, that to me is the concern. And so now the pace gets even heightened in the postseason. So I got to see it to believe it from Klingberg. Troy Stetcher, I don't expect him to play. I don't even know if he'll play in games 3. I don't think he'll play in game 3. I'm not sure if he'll even play in game 4. So we'll see. But, they could use him. Now, Klingberg, if he can find something, he has the ability. He's shown it before. My goodness. Remember, we watched in the bubble spec. He was unbelievable. But that's 5 years ago. So, obviously the injury since then. But even if he was 80% of that, it would be it would be pretty good. So we'll see, Spec. It's going to be a matter. Do you know the big story, though, Spec? Are the harmonica ladies going to play again tonight?
The Korean senior harmonica band?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know. Those poor old ladies had a tough run in there. I know the Edmonton fans didn't think much of them, but
now, how did it sound in the building?
brutal. It sounded brutal.
Oh, really?
Everyone looking at each other, just like you guys were back home, going, "What are we doing here? What? Who?"
You know, it's funny. I missed the anthem. I was at a buddy's house. We were chatting, so I didn't see it or hear it. So that's what I was like. I didn't bother to go back and look. I was just gonna. Some people thought it was more funny than it was good.
It kind of reminded me of a Christmas concert at a senior home. I don't know who greenlit that thing, man. Like when you got a house full of people for game one of the playoffs, don't you want someone that might provide a little bit of energy?
But it seemed like it got people talking. Like that. I don't know. Were the fans giving it a rousing applause? Were they loving it? They're just like, whatever. Who's ever here? We don't care. No.
It's kind of like being the comedian where they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. So, yeah, they were talking about that band, but probably not the way you want to get talked about.
Yeah. Awesome, Spec. Well, enjoy the game, and we will chat with you tomorrow.
All right, man. Sounds great.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. When we come back, the mayor, John Hoven, will join us. The LA Kings, they're not making any lineup changes. But are they going to run basically 3 lines and 4 defense? What do you think the plan is? It worked. They won the game. What will they change? What do they feel they need to improve on? We'll find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Nuggets Nuggets. This is Nuggets Nuggets, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. What nugget of heating and cooling advice does Nuge have today?
You can save a lot of money by bundling your new furnace and AC with Legacy. It's kind of like saving money on an endorsement by bundling me, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, with someone like, I don't know, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Thanks for suggesting me, Nuge. Get no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new AC and furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling. Proud sponsor of Nuggets Nuggets.
Spring style and road-ready performance are more affordable than ever. Now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save up to $5,000. Lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 4.9% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save $2,000. Get ready for the open road at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services, only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Now until April 30th, The Brick is saving you more. Save up to 60% off Canadian-made sofas when you buy the matching Love Seater chair. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. And when you use your Flexity card, get equal monthly payments and 0% interest for 60 months on furniture and mattress purchases. Plus, you're automatically entered to win a $5,000 Brick shopping spree. And the more you buy, the more you save. Up to an additional $1,200 off select major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Tim's Smile Cookie is almost here. And every bite makes your community every bite better. Because 100% of proceeds are donated to local charities and community groups. Head to Tim's for Smile Cookies from April 28th to May 4th.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:28. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening and watching a busy Wednesday afternoon. We've got the Montreal Canadiens, Washington Capitals game going on right here at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. So That one's underway. A little change there. Demidov has moved down. Him and Armia swap lines in Montreal. We'll see if that makes a difference or not. For them, Capitals looking to go up 2-0. Ovi right now is being in on 100% of their goals so far this postseason. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. As mentioned, the Oilers, the underdog at there tonight, taking on the Los Angeles Kings. And we'll see. Can the Kings go up 2-0 in the series? If you go up 2-0 in a series, 88% chance of winning based on history. It's not a guarantee, but it's a pretty good number, which makes it, I think, a pretty big game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. You don't want to go, hey, now we know they came back down 2-0 against the Sharks in 2017. Yes, it can happen, but you'd probably try to avoid it if you could. Now, let's get to our playoff report, brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month is on now at GMC. Get a $5,000 cash purchase credit on 2025 Sierra HD model. See more at gmccanada.ca. As the mayor, John Hoven, joins us once again from the Mayor's Manor, a longtime Kings reporter. Johnny, how you doing, buddy?
Greg's always good to talk to you, but have to give a shout out to Connor there for the Chili Peppers intro music. Nice touch.
Oh, hey, buddy, he's on the ball, man. The DJ Cons, he knows what's going on. No lineup changes for the Kings. You know what? I think, hey, they're the opposite of the Oilers. The Oilers didn't like their start. The Kings probably loved their start, and they controlled the majority of that game. And then, other than the third period. So when you look at it from an LA perspective, what did they get away from that was working so well, do they feel, that allowed Edmonton to get back in the game?
Well, any team, when you're up like that, you probably have a tendency to take your foot off the gas, even if you're not going to admit that you did. It's hard to play, a full 60 minutes during the regular season, let alone the type of effort and energy that you have to give in the playoffs. And that's what makes it such a grind. At 5-2 off that Kevin Fiala goal, I think most people, myself included, probably thought that the game was over. And then, the chaos at the end, you give McDavid, for example, an opportunity to really utilize his speed with, when they pull the goaltender, and now there are fewer players on the ice to help defend what the Oilers are putting out there. So that's part of the scramble that took place at the end. And I just view that as really garbage time more than anything else. I mean, I don't say that disrespectfully to what the Oilers were able to do, because they could have easily packed it in after 40 minutes and said, hey, it is what it is, and we'll move on to the next one. And even at 5-2, they could have done the same thing. So that group battled back. But like you said there a moment ago, they clearly didn't like their start. They were dominated. They were taken from the Kings for the first, if you want to say 39 minutes even, given that the Oilers were able to get one late there in the second period. And that's probably what gave them a little bit of hope heading into the third period, was that late goal there in the second period. But to hear the players in the room and to hear Coach Jim Hiller talk about it, it boiled down to just a few couple of mistakes that allowed Edmonton to jump back into the game. And overall, they were pretty pleased with their performance last night.
No lineup changes. The Oilers have a few. Evander Kane comes in. John Klingberg's in for Brown. Both teams, really, if you look at their number 5 and 6 defensemen, played basically the same minutes on both teams. If you look at Emberson played a few more minutes than Clark. Spence played a few more minutes than Brown. But really, between the four of them, they average about 9 minutes per game. I don't really see that. I don't know if I see that changing in Edmonton. The Kings kind of are what you see. Are you expecting to run those big four for the majority of the time, or were you surprised that Spence only played 6 minutes?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that I was necessarily surprised, also because there was a lot of special teams play in the game, whether it was the power plays or the penalty kill, and that always causes some confusion and things are sort of discombobulated after that. I think what I'm probably more interested in watching going forward from the Kings' perspective is if and when and for how long Jim Hiller puts Mikey Anderson back together with Gavrikov. Those two formed a very successful D pairing for most of the season while Drew Doughty was out. And, there were a couple situations in the game last night where Hiller probably didn't like what he saw from that pair. So is there a potential to switch that up? Again, special teams have a lot to do with that. So we'll have to see how tonight's game plays out in terms of what they need on the penalty kill, how much power play time they're going to get. That's going to dictate some minutes. And then can you get Brant Clark more involved in the power play at some point? He's an offensive weapon that's in their back pocket. You look at last night, even when the Kings had a 5-on-3, you saw guys like Andrzej Kopitar stay out there for the entire time. So it was a little bit different utilization of other players on special teams that I think ultimately impacted some of the minutes, although I wouldn't expect them to, roll their fourth line or their third defensive pairing on anywhere near what they might get in a regular season game. Come the playoffs, and especially against the Oilers, they're going to try to use a lot of their big guns, maybe a little bit more than they normally would.
Looking at, the matchup game, Danault obviously is the guy they want against McDavid as much as they can. No one hard matches every line today in the NHL, but he played the most and they had success. So, that, and with Draisaitl at least starting the game with McDavid, I look at the Kings and say, hey, if we're going to win tonight, you know what? It's more so going to be the Kopitar and the Byfield line got to get us some offense 5-on-5.
Well, that certainly is true. And if you look at sort of what you would be sacrificing offense to give heavy defensive minutes to a particular player, on paper, Phil Danault would be the guy because the Byfield line generated more goals. The Kopitar line also generated more offense. And then, of course, what happens? Phil goes out and scores 2 goals, including the game winner. So, that theory didn't exactly play out the way that probably you would have thought coming into the game, but it certainly played to the Kings' favor. From an offensive perspective, those 2 lines that you just mentioned, if Danault is carrying the mail defensively, those other 2 lines do have the ability to give you a lot of offense. Kempe, Kopitar, and then with Kuzmenko since the trade deadline, they've been pretty deadly. What Kuzmenko is able to do when the puck is on his stick is rather remarkable and really a lot of fun to watch, quite honestly. And, Quentin Byfield gets a lot of the credit and a lot of the attention and the headlines on that line, but let's not forget that he has a winger that scored 35 goals in Kevin Fiala as well. So it's not just QB, it's that line altogether. And of course, Laffy helps make a lot of the space and the room and the moves to allow for the offense to run through Byfield and to run through Fiala. So that line has been very potent all year long, and especially in the second half of the season.
The power play of the Kings, the 5-man forward unit, Kempe at the top. You mentioned Kuzmenko. It seems like he's just added a massive bolt of juice to that power play. And, we saw obviously on the 5-on-3, they want to get Fiala the shot, but on the 5-on-4, John, it really seems now the whole power play functions a lot through Kuzmenko.
Yeah, it was interesting last night how Kuzmenko just got lost. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, he's right there on the doorstep and he's wide open and there's no one there to cover him. So Kuzmenko can do it either from, the offense the pucks going from other players to him and converting them into goals, or some of the passes that he makes are just pretty unreal. And how he's able to get the puck through the defenders. It always seems to be a highlight reel pass that he's making, especially on the power play. So that 5-forward power play has been a new look that they've used really only over the last month or so of the season. And they used it for a game or two, then seemed to go away from it, and then brought it back over the last maybe 10 days of the season. Hey, getting 2 power play goals in the first game is on that list of many things that probably gave the Kings confidence coming out of game 1, and they feel gives them some momentum going forward after a real disastrous, series last year when it came to special teams. Well, beyond that, Fiala is that lethal shot, like you mentioned, and when he's in that one specific area around the top of the circle, he's been pretty deadly there all season long, and he's probably hoping that he'll continue to score a few more there throughout the series.
John, it's the Oilers, regardless how good the numbers were defensively for the Kings in the regular season, Edmonton's found a way in the playoffs to score on them. And I know it's only one game, but they got 5 on Kemper. Did you see as an oddity, or was there anything you feel the Kings, defensively, they're talking about what they want to do better? Because, has Kemper even allowed 5 goals this year in a game?
Not since October, by my memory. I was going to go back and look that up and didn't do it, but I do remember way, way, way earlier in the season. I would say, really since about November 15th on, Kemper has been rock solid. And from January 1st on, he's been, from another world almost. He went on a tremendous stretch there where he didn't give up more than 2 goals per game. And most nights he was giving up 1 or 0. So it's a really interesting question because I view it as both is the answer. It's not one or the other. Yes, I view it as a bit of an oddity, and I'm not expecting that going forward. I'm expecting him to have a real bounce back night tonight and look like he's looked over the last 2 months. At the same time, I think there were a few things defensively that the Kings were doing differently last night during that third period that we hadn't really seen them do much of the year, especially the way that they were attempting to block shots. I think it was creating some different looks for Kemper that perhaps he wasn't used to seeing. Now, we didn't get an opportunity to talk to him post game, so that's my evaluation, but not verified by Kemper, who at this time of the year, not even sure if he really would admit to that anyway. So I'd like to believe that was something they addressed during video sessions here over the last 48 hours, and I'm not expecting that same sort of look tonight. I think it'll be more of the Kings' defensive structure that we saw for the majority of the 82 games. Even though the postseason is different, there are many things that you do try to carry over, and one of them is the way that you play in front of your goaltender. It's that consistency that allows him to get into a rhythm.
And I just looked it up, John. He actually did it twice. One was that wild 8-7 game early in the year on October 14th against Ottawa, and then February 28th at Dallas. The Kings lost that game to the Stars 6-2. So those are the only two games that he's even allowed 4, never mind 5. So it's definitely a rarity for Kemper and the Kings this season. Again, lastly, John, I'll leave you. Do you know? Because I people online, everybody likes to have fun with certain things. Are the harmonica ladies coming back for game 2?
It's the best kept secret in Los Angeles. I wish I had a direct answer for you, but I don't. You think getting the starting goaltender out of an NHL head coach can be a challenge at times. Getting anybody inside the Kings business operations group to answer yes or no direct, will these people be back tonight, is you're not getting it. So I wish I had a better answer, but I will say this: it was a lot of fun, and for those inside the arena, it was loud. It was really loud hearing all of those fans sing the national anthem. It was great to hear. So for my money, I hope that the Harmonic Kings make a return tonight and keep it going.
All right, Johnny, enjoy the game, man. Every game gets a little bit more intense in this series, and throwing Evander Kane into the mix should only intensify it even more, so it should be fantastic. Enjoy it, my man.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, Greg. Thanks.
There you go. That's John Hoven, Mayor's Manor, longtime reporter for the LA Kings. So no lineup changes for the Kings. They're going to go with status quo, and hey, they won the game, and for long stretches of the game, they liked how they played. So now the great part about playoff hockey is I don't think any of us are expecting a 6-5 game. I'd love to see it. Selfishly, I love it. The more offense, just more reason to get excited, get upset, depending on which side of the ledger you're on. And for some reason, though, I think it'll probably be a little bit low scoring tonight. I hope I'm wrong, but we shall see. We'll come back with the lineup report for you and much, much more on the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Live from On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th. And as always, it's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Put a light furnace with some AC, gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025.
If you gamble, use your game sense.
From the Mayor's Manor, a longtime Kings reporter,
GMC Pro
Johnny, how you doing? Johnny,
has a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. He'll be ready for
fantastic. Enjoy it, my man.
Ask your GMC.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, Greg. Absolutely. I'll
Experience
talk to
more
you
at
soon.
the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now, for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. A Minecraft movie meal, available now at your local McDonald's. See it in theaters April 4th. Meal available for a limited time while supplies last at participating Canadian restaurants.
At Vision Credit Union, we've been around a long time. In fact, we've been serving rural Alberta communities for 75 years. We launched in 1950 with $128, 21 members, and a mission to help our communities. It's still our mission today. That's why we return 75% of Vision's profits to members, offer full-service banking in underserved rural communities, and prioritize contributing to charitable causes in our hometowns. We're here for good. VisionCU.ca.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Missioner Allen Auction's public unreserved equipment auction is Friday at 9 a.m. featuring backhoes, crawler dozers, excavators, mini excavators, graders, platform lifts, skid steers, snorkel lift, drum packers, turf mowers, wheel loaders, plus commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Action Electrical. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions in project, service tag, and solar for commercial or residential. Contact them today at actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
I-46. Hey, Greg's, I'm curious. Lots of text flying in, 833-401-1440. Did you think it was garbage time? I'm not sure there is garbage time in the NHL playoffs. Like, it's you score a late goal in the second, it's 4-1. Then you score a goal early in the third, it's a 4-2 game. I don't think you can call that garbage time for me. And then I know it became 5-2, but then Edmonton scored right away to make it 5-3. So, yeah, a 2-goal lead in the NHL isn't what it used to be. Like, sadly, in like the early 2000s, 2-goal leads, it was pretty much good night, Irene. Like, it was awful because you could sit back and it was brutal. But nowadays, not as much, right? I think there was more 2-goal leads evaporated in the regular season this year than maybe ever in NHL history. So now maybe that's part and parcel because, defensively, you don't have as many, you want everybody to be a puck mover. So sometimes you sacrifice a little bit of defensive instincts. So you have it. But yeah, I wouldn't. Heck, if the Oilers are up 5-2 and all of a sudden it's 5-5, that's not garbage time for me. That's, now maybe I probably agree. Do you let off? Potentially. I could see that. It's human nature. It's psychological. You can tell, don't let up. But hey, and sometimes I don't even know if you are letting up when the other team just makes a few plays. So. It's a good question, but I definitely wouldn't call it garbage time for me. So let's see. Let's get to the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. LegacyHeating.ca. The 2-minute warning with Cam Tate comes now.
A wake-up call disguised as a sluggish start. Connor McDavid already starring in a nightmare. Game 2, crucial. Not just by feel, by the numbers. As Jason Gregor pointed out, Teams that go up 2 games in a best-of-7 series, they win it 88% of the time. That's not momentum, that's math. Tonight, the Oilers roll the dice. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the same line from the first puck drop. Is it risky? Maybe. Is it smart? That depends how long it lasts and what they do with it. We ran a pregame poll on the Twitter, or X, or Musk. Okay, sorry. Okay, when I checked it at 13 minutes after 5:13, it was clear 70%. As in 70% yes, start your stars together, because momentum, whatever it is, needs to start somewhere. Maybe it starts with 97 and 29 skating side by side. And if you're wondering if momentum even exists in the playoffs, just ask the Oilers, who didn't really show up for game 1 until 38-minute mark. Maybe that reset was exactly what they needed. A wake-up call disguised as a sluggish start. Connor McDavid already starring in a Nightmare on Sunset Boulevard. Look for the sequel tonight, because when the lights come up and the anthem fades, it's not about strategy. It's not about odds. It's about who brings the fear and who feeds off it. I picked the Oilers to bring the series home tied, 1 game apiece. I really, really think we will know in the first 8 minutes. 2-minute warning with Tater, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Gregor Show, Sports 1440.
Yeah, I don't think we can know in the first 8 minutes. I guess unless somebody's got a 4-0 lead, maybe. And even then, we saw last game, that can even evaporate. So this is, I know Oiler fans, you'd love to be uber comfortable and confident early in the game, but something tells me you probably got to buckle up for this one. It'll take you some time for sure to get rolling. So, as far as knowing who's going to win or lose, and that's what makes it great. So there you go. Let's get to the lineup report now, brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, where guess what? You're thinking about it. Ooh, we're getting closer. We're getting close to that time of year. Boating season. You can get in for bi-weekly payment, $149 for a boat. Oh, sweet. Stop in now at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. The Oilers, some significant lineup changes to the line and to people who are actually playing. Draisaitl, McDavid, Perry are going to start together. Evander Kane comes in the lineup with Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Trent Frederick on the left side will start with Henrique and Connor Brown, which leaves Janmark centering Podkolzin and Arvidsson. On the back end, Nurse with Bouchard. They have it lefty-righties in the second and third pair. Kulak with Emberson, Wallman, and John Klingberg draws in for his first playoff game with the Edmonton Oilers. We've seen the defense pairs for lots of the season move around. Nurse and Kulak have played a ton together at different times. Wallman, Nurse. So I think you will. John Klingberg, I asked it earlier. Is he going to play more than 11 minutes? I would say under for sure. Just based on how he had looked, even healthy in the regular season, he's been okay. Like, can he move? I'm curious. Like, he can move the puck better than Josh Brown. There's no debate about that. He can definitely move the puck better than him. But can his feet move? That to me is the question that we'll have to get to. So I still think you're going to see those Wallman, Nurse, Bouchard, Kulak in different combinations with one another for much of the game. And Emberson probably plays like he did last game, 12, 13 minutes. And I do believe Klingberg will play more than the 454 Brown, but I don't know how much more. Meanwhile, the LA Kings, no line. Oh, sorry, Stuart Skinner, of course, starting in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. The LA Kings, no lineup changes. They are going with the exact same roster. Kopitar will center Kuzmenko and Kempe. Byfield with Lafayette and Fiala. Deneau, Moore, and Fogle, and that's the line they want out against McDavid. Hellenius, Turcotte, and Malott. Those guys played less than 4 minutes last game, and they were winning for the majority of that game. Doughty with Anderson, Spence and Gavrikov. Spence only played 6 minutes, Clark and Edmondson. So LA's defense, kind of similar boat to the Oilers. The pairings you see start aren't necessarily pairings you're going to see during the game. We got the pregame show coming up with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, so stay tuned for that. Then, of course, they'll have all of the postgame reaction as well. Get down to OTR, come in, get your seat, get early. It's going to be a great game. We'll see what the result is. Enjoy it. On behalf of Connor and Declan, I'm Gregor. Have yourselves a great night. Let's get to the Con Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Ewell, your partners in power for 25 years. EWEL.ca for all your electrical gear. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 2, Oilers Kings down in Los Angeles. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. We've got pregame coverage with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson coming up next year on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, after 20 minutes, Caps and Canadians scoreless. At 7:30, Avs taking on the Stars. That series tied at a game apiece. In the association, in the second quarter, the Celtics on top of the Magic 41-35. And in the first quarter, the Heat leading the Cavs 16-7. Later on this season, the Warriors look to take a 2-0 series lead over the Houston Rockets down in Houston. Major League Baseball today, the Blue Jays in action. Right now, scoreless as they're in Houston taking on the Astros. You've also got the Dodgers on top of the Cubs 2-0. Mariners lead the Red Sox 4-0. And the Nationals have a 3-1 lead over the Orioles in the top of the fifth. Later on tonight, you got the Angels in Anaheim hosting the Pirates. Rays taking on the Diamondbacks. Giants host the Brewers, and the Rangers up against the Athletics. Earlier on this afternoon, the Braves got past the Cards 4-1. Reds over the Marlins 5-2. The Yankees down the Guardians 5-1. Phillies losing to the Mets 4-3 in extra, and the Padres get blanked by the Tigers 6-0. WHL action this evening. We've got Game 7 between the Hitmen and the Hurricanes down in Calgary. Puck drop at 7. The winner of this one advancing on to take on the Medicine Hat Tigers, who have a record of 8-1 in the playoffs so far. In the AJ League final, Calgary can end it tonight in GP, leading 3-0. Puck drop on that one set for 7. And in the BCHL, the Crusaders looking to stay alive as they host Brooks, and it's leading that series 3-0. Puck drop 7 o'clock. Out on the park for the PWHL, they announced today that Vancouver will be the 7th franchise and first expansion franchise. They'll start next season, which is expected to begin in November. And in the NFL, the Detroit Lions agreeing to terms with All-Pro safety Kirby Joseph, making him the highest paid safety in NFL history, 4 years, $86 million. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, pregame with Walker and Paulson. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app